welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. Oh, hold on.
Robert.
I'm your host, Rob, and unsurprisingly, it's Thursday night, and absolutely amazingly, we're going to be doing some great content, but I'm joined by Tom and Nikos. Tom, tiny bit late because the guy that does traffic management, I heard, for the Nottingham City Council, also the same person that did the Games Workshop FAQ.
Sounds about right.
And hopefully, that should be that should get you in the kind of framework for how we feel.
Remember, we're doing constructive comments.
We're doing constructive, that's right. Okay. So, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Rob, and I'm joined by Nick. Hi, Nick.
Hello.
Now, Nick's super ill and has been a hero and turned up today. So, round of applause for Nick. Well done, Nick. Thank you very much.
My colleagues at work.
Tom has been shocked by the world's oldest fair.
I don't know why it's there. Why
Goose Fair?
Yeah, but why in the early days of October? What's the point of it?
Of Goose Fair?
Yeah.
It's a great question. It's an absolutely great question. And the reason is, Tom,
it makes loads of money.
Huh?
It makes loads of money.
Well, no, actually, that's not actually the reason. It's terrible.
It did look terrible.
It's an annual travelling fun fair held at the Forest Recreation Ground in Nottingham, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Now, the early history of it, because I know you asked why, it's not known exactly how long the fair has existed in Nottingham, but it certainly has been around for many centuries and may date back more than 1,000 years.
Well, no one's going to beat that record, so you can stop now. And stop ruining the traffic in this horrendous city. I know you live here, but...
it does make it worse.
That was a lot of knowledge you just plucked out of thin air there.
Well, actually,
out your brain, straight
most
out your
people
brain.
don't know this, but the first reference to the name Goose Fair can be found in Nottingham's Borough Records in 1541. Again, most people don't know, but at that point, Tom, it's on the 21st of September, so it's kind of shifted. Put it back.
Yeah, put it back. It's like Easter, it just moves.
Yeah, it just moves around. Right, evening to everyone on Twitch. If you're watching us on Facebook or you're watching us on YouTube, we're taking questions on Twitch. If you're listening to the podcast or any of the platforms, I just have to say a massive shout out to everyone on Patreon and everyone on Twitch who subscribes and donates cash because it helps us do the show for free. Also lets us do, we can announce now that we'll be doing the live stream 40k event coverage at the LCO.
Yep.
So, that's right, excited.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Now the challenge is, and you guys already know this because we talked about this before, when we go and do that, we're going to do the best 40k coverage of an event ever.
Not hard.
Ever.
Not hard. That's true. The bar has been set quite low.
Piling on, all right.
But yeah,
we're going to make it hard to beat our target. We're going to set the bar high.
We're going to set the bar like Michael Bay. Are you guys excited?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Michael Bay is another low bar.
He is a low bar. Although that's a South Park reference, isn't it?
Possibly.
Yeah. Who did Avatar?
James Cameron.
James Cameron sets the bar. He always raises the bar.
Michael Bay is the one with the masturbation jokes and the lens flare.
Yeah, and the love of women's feet. No, that's
that is Michael
Tarantino.
Bay. Michael Bay.
Is he a footman?
Yeah, really into it.
Ooh.
That's why there's that scene in Kill Bill where it's like, I need to move my little toe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a foot guy.
I bet he reshot that scene over and over again.
Over and over.
J.J. Abrams is also lens flare.
Huh?
They're both lens flare.
Yeah.
I just hate Michael Bay.
J Boo Studio with your gorgeous hair. Hello, Eyeglasses86. John. That's right. Geez, everyone is sleepy, says John. Chris Frostin, hope you're well. Nikos is a hero, says John. Greco says hi.
I am a hero.
Groovy Greg says oi oi.
Oi, oi.
Oh, yeah.
Oi oi. Carl Matt, are we talking about Nottingham again? Scabs. Carl Matt, not a huge fan of Nottingham. But big shout out to Carl Matt becoming our most recent Patreon member and helping us keep the show going. So,
it's still better than Leeds.
Huh?
It's still better than Leeds.
Well, I mean, it's not hard, right?
Yeah.
Longshot Loxley, hey up. Arkian, hello. I have a question before we start. Okay, have you seen the trailer for Total Warhammer? Not yet.
There's a trailer?
There's a new one for like a new expansion.
Oh, right.
So again, and we can't forget, if anyone remembers like the first few weeks of Honest Wargamer, where I committed to quitting Total War.
I've been playing some of that Mortal Empires.
I recorded a show at like 4 a.m. the other day with one of the Australians.
Playing it.
And then it just said on Discord, Tom Layton is playing Total War Warhammer, and I was like, go to bed.
No. Iron Breakers are fun.
But the first thing we need to do, I would like to know how you both are as well, so I'll ask that in a second. But I'm going to check out the Total War trailer in a minute. Hi, Serbator. I need to apologise to Games Workshop. That's my first thing.
Really?
Well, they brought the FAQ out in September. Yeah, congratulations.
Well,
Just
Yeah.
about.
Hit the
Credit where
target.
credit's
Hit the
due.
target.
Yeah, just
Well
about. But let's not, you finish the race. You grab a boob. It's a boob.
Yeah, you might have finished that. All right, I'll just leave that. I'm not even going to expand on it.
But so that's straight from me. I'm really happy with that. I would have liked some clarification when in September, but listen, I don't want to.
The boob might be attached to a man, but
Yeah,
it's still a boob.
so far I'm great with it, so that's good. So how are you two?
Apart from being slightly unwell, I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I've almost finished my Ermagers.
Ermagers.
My
You painted up
Ermagers.
2 Ermagers?
2 Ermagers.
Ermager.
And I'm doing them in my fire theme that I've done on my knights.
Oh, that's cool.
But I've done so I've had 3 big knights and they're all like orangey, yellow fire. But this time I've done blue fire. And it looks really cool, like a little gaslight.
Oh,
That's
nice.
cool. Yeah, so excited.
I've-
I've just finished painting them last night and I glossed them. So when I go home, I should be able to glue all the armor plates on, and that's when it.
Yeah, that's when it really pings.
That's when I
James Sue's just
climax.
currently painting his Ermagers.
Oh yeah.
I already painted up my Ermagers, used them in tournament, fucking hate them. Although Serbator will disagree, he thinks when we played against the Harlequins, they were real good. But that was one time. It doesn't count.
I mean, every time we've used them.
All right,
Well,
okay.
I've not used them yet, so.
So 100% of the
I had
0
4
times that
bad
you've used them.
experiences with them. Nikos, we'll be getting the Forge World Necron thing.
No.
No.
We already went through it last time.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to buy Forge World to make my Necrons good. I want the codex to be good.
Although there are whispers of the ECC.
What the fuck?
I know.
Okay, if anyone's not aware, actually, and this is obviously allegedly and utterly untrue, but the founding council of the ETC, which is actually 7 Grand Wizards of the Freemasons,
And myself.
huh?
And myself.
And you,
Yeah.
but
When you time travels.
all of
Yeah,
you,
I need
as
to
I
expand
understand,
myself from that.
used to be amateur sculptors in a child's class, and then the guy that set up Forge World didn't do anything inappropriate, but he did make you all work for no money. And then when you all became adults, you realised you got exploited heavily. Again, this is all lies. You got exploited heavily, and then you refused to ever let Forge World be at the ETC.
Now we just use crystals.
That's the backstory, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Whereas now we decided to cut our affirmative action program, and we're just saying, you know what, let the past be past. We're
Well,
gonna.
you're cutting the affirmative action program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to support anyone who isn't Forge World.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right. But now Forge World are okay.
Forge World are alright.
All right. Okay.
So we're having a vote, but
Wow, is this like on like the West Wing? Yeah, like who's the guy lobbying for pro Forge World? He's like, I got 8 votes. I need a 9th vote.
it depends on each team. So each team gets to vote, I think, and then the way that we do it is we work out amongst ourselves if we're going to vote yay or vote nay.
Oh, okay.
And
What you need is a slogan on the side of a bus. Allow Forge World the
Yeah.
ETC.
that will give you 350 extra points
Exactly.
for your team.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there you go. That's how it's going to work.
Groovy Greg says my Hellbrun was outstanding when I used it at tourney. Didn't attract one shot towards it, just free shooting. Yeah. Okay.
He also did have 3 big knights.
Okay. All right. Yeah, mine has just sucked. Well, but I was just always shooting the wrong things. I think I was shooting power armor. Was rubbish against that. Like shooting at knights, sucked against that.
The value in it is the damage free. So if you get the wound through, it's great, but
Yeah.
it's AB -1.
I just think 600 points could have been better spent when I used them, but that's.
Bye.
I understand that's not how we feel. But they look great, Nikos. Can't wait for you to paint them and use them. Not trying to piss on your parade. Promise.
How do we go into just bullying you for your unit choices?
Well, no, you're on his side.
Yeah, I am on his
Yeah,
side.
I just, you know.
I just needed some little ones to complete my set. I'm working on my Castellan next. I've built that guy.
The Castellan.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Got him
basically
built.
unusable after this FAQ.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Pretty cool.
Well, yes,
No,
correct, Tom.
I know.
That was sarcasm.
I couldn't tell.
I'll hold up
Sorry.
the emotional
Yeah.
cards.
Thank you. Just
Sucker.
put a kappa in the chat whenever you use sarcasm, and I'll know. That's what kappa's for, man. It's just for telling autistic people that it's sarcastic. That's how
I'm
it
so
works.
going to make those. I'm like, Rob's using sarcasm now, Tom.
That could be one of the partner emotes.
Yeah, that's
There
perfect.
you go.
Perfect.
Rob, do you have any spare knight weapons?
Yeah.
Because I need to.
What do you need?
Well, I want because I've built my Castellan. I've magnetised his arm, so I want to convert a big harpoon and a whatever
Let's
flamer.
make you a list, actually,
flame
at this
thing.
point, but it's that's on the floor.
That's fine.
Time.
Slept in a bar the other day. Right, so JB Studio Mine's going to be a Penitent and Warglaves. They are not to live ever. Dude Our Day, hi guys, see the Dream Team is back on the stream, that's right. That's the Thursday stream team, so you should join us every week if you get the chance. Group of Gregs, is it worth trying them with a Perceptor? And then Mr. Hector says hello.
Is a Perceptive one with the 4 guns?
Huh?
Is a Perceptive or the T-Rex one with the 4 guns?
I don't know. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that a 4-drawer one?
Yeah.
FAQ broke and nerfed everything at the same time per interwebs. Yes, so let's just fire into it, because some people hate the preamble.
Straight in.
Some people hate preamble, yeah, and I'm not into that. So with that said, anyone watching anything good on TV? Right, okay.
Ozark.
No. So
Is that
I'm on
good?
season 2 of the Ozark.
Is it good?
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
only just halfway through Breaking Bad, man.
It's a little bit slow, but it's pretty decent. Right, I've been saying that girls out, she keeps making me watch horror movies just because she likes when I spooked out by them, and that's just not okay.
I just refuse to watch a horror movie.
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
tried
not
to
a
do,
fan.
but I managed to skip. Oh, Dude Our Days just donated 300 bits to Nikos for the Vault Fund. Getting close now, only 40
closer.
more weeks
By
to
the time we
go.
get it, they'll nerf it with FAQ.
It'll be unusable.
It'll be unusable.
Evening plain old Gavin. Right. So, Games Workshop, literally hours after we did our last show on 40k, so if you listen to that, released their 40k FAQ in September. Big praise, well done. You released
I won the
it.
sweepstake, didn't I? I won the sweepstake.
You won the sweepstake, congratulations. You win this £1 coin.
Oh, thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Donated by the Twitch people.
I'm going to put it to my Vault Fund.
There we go, put it towards the
Vault
Vault
Back
Fund.
of a Vault Fund.
Hi, Scaredcast. Salutations. Which is exciting. And there were some claims by the community article, which is the only thing we can really go through. Yeah. And it's worth noting that there were some claims. And one of those claims were that the FAQ was meant to stop the guard CP battery, or CP farming, basically.
Which it does.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that you don't get a flat, very high number of CPs. You just use the entire.
So we'll talk about that at the moment. So we'll talk about that when we get to it, and what we'll do is we'll pose what the problem was, apparently, what Games Workshop did to combat it, whether or not we think that it succeeded in the process, and then what that's going to mean for us as gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yep.
That seems like the most healthy methodology I can think of.
I've got the full list of big FAQ changes, rulebook changes, and codex changes on my phone as well.
Oh, perfect.
Right,
hi, Scaredcast from Canada again. That's right.
Yeah.
Woes a Monkey, didn't Model Floggers make... I forgot that we're all calling them Model Floggers now. Make 8th edition because 7th edition was clunky and required too many books. For 8th edition, come December, you're going to need rulebook, codex, FAQ for codex, all big FAQs, and 2 chapter approves. And Happy Inquisitor subscribed on Twitch Prime, so thanks very much. Yes, you could say, though, if it got overly clunky, there could be a way for them to fix the over clunkiness, which would be...
delete the game.
Delete the game and start a new game again. Or start the game again.
Make more money.
Yeah, make more money. They
Reset
need...
it.
I didn't check the stock shares, but they seem high.
I think they might have done quite well.
Yeah. Well,
They might have
actually,
flogged a lot of models.
they've flogged a lot of models, but, and this is very important, Kevin Roundtree, the CEO, and again, this is a huge fabrication, is massively into...
Dota.
No, actually, he's massively into mobile games. Obviously, a busy guy being the CEO of a big company. Yeah, so he doesn't have time. He doesn't have time to grind through the kind of game. So you you buy gems and coins and to unlock all the stuff. Yeah. He's so into that, allegedly.
So he's saying he's a Clash Royale player.
Yeah, and he's just buying tokens like they're going. I mean, he's got a big wage, so that's fine. And then he's just like, oh, we should get the customers to do this. This is great. Those are my thoughts. But
well, what would be the 40k equivalent of that? Just
the codexes.
Just codexes, yeah.
The codexes.
Which is why we're all playing one army.
Right? This is why we're all playing one army for a year.
But the 40k list is 3 armies.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Tristan
we got
Gray
round
says,
3 this
I
weekend.
think Roundtree's in my guild on Rome War. 9th edition. Right, but let's not get too carried away with being rude about it. So that's how we'll go through the process. Yeah, what they thought the problem was, what they did to tackle it, whether or not we think that they solved the problem.
Yep.
Whether or not it really even was a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For example.
Yeah.
And then happy with that?
Yep.
Yeah, good. Right, okay. Let's start this show and get it on the road. it already sounded more negative than I wanted it to, but it's constructive. We're aiming for constructive today, right?
Yes.
Constructive and healthy. There will be jokes at the expense of stupid and ludicrous decisions. But when we get to the fly keyword, I'm going to say we've got to the fly keyword now. You might want to log out for 15 to 25 minutes.
Have a moment of silence.
Take a break.
where I am going to do nothing but chortle like a baby. Right, so I'm going to go start off on the big big FAQ rules before we get to the Codexy stuff. Yeah, you happy with that?
Yep.
Sure.
Right. So they confirmed that some of the things that were beta rules are now all the way rules.
With one exception.
Yes,
Yeah.
but however they being beta rules, they were being used the entire time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're official rules now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You should
As
definitely
opposed
do.
to
You have to use them.
officially unofficial rules that you have
Yes.
to use as well.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
cool. And if you ever want to listen to the other FAQ show we did, where I talked about the cowardice of the beta and the other rules, suggested tournament rules, please feel free to listen, because it is ludicrous. So we've got Battle Brothers rule is in effect now. It's good. It's cool. You happy with that?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
Or you think it doesn't go far enough?
Well, they said soup's off the menu, didn't they? That was
Yep.
their thing. And like, is it really off the menu though? Because the 40k list is 3 armies.
So
That's
should we?
still soup, right?
Yeah. So should we define what soup, which is a terminology that we all came up with as a community recently? Should we talk about what Tom? If I was to say to you, I've got a soup army. What would you think it is?
An army with lots of different books, comprised of units from lots of different books.
And almost always it's 3 detachments.
Yeah.
So it would be 3 detachments of different books.
Yeah. The difference is now that you can't have one detachment of like 4 different books, unless you are Space Marines or Eldar.
Or Eldar. That's very important.
Well, you still can't have it from different books, but you can take a Yunari detachment and call it Asayani, which is not a forbidden keyword. And I had at a weekend one detachment with a Latok, Ulfwe, Baeltan, and Simhan in it.
Yeah.
That seemed reasonable. And now I get the stratagems from that.
Yes,
Oh, really?
sure. So what we're saying is that rule has not solved the problem in all cases.
It got rid of some of the problems that the chaos lists were having, I think.
Okay.
But apart from that, yeah, totally correct. And it removed the ability to take Magnus and Mortarion in the same detachment.
Yes. However, you can still take Mortarion in a Death Guard detachment and Mortarion in a Thousand
It does
Suns
restrict you quite a bit because you're using 2 detachments just on those. So you can take, for example, 1 Super Heavy Auxiliary for Mortarion and 1 what's the Supreme Command detachment for Magnus, and then you can take a battalion.
Yeah. No, it does to restrict you to a degree, but not really overly like much, right?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Why do people use books? Says Arkia. Good point. Doodade, hi. Gozzy, hi. First Brain Squig, hi. Oh my god. Woes a Monkey. I got it as free class upgrade along with the ability to complain about whether that things were like the good old days. FAQ, also known as FAQ edition 8.20.
Yep.
Is it?
Sounds like patch.
And then First Brain Squig says, yeah, you'll fly through this. Should we talk about the fact Loki 1287 Rob, so with the fly nerf, looks like your Solitaire will never make Abaddon kill himself again. I played that guy. Yeah, we played.
that guy?
He's great. He's the guy with all the corn cultists. I like that guy.
awesome.
Was this at the heat?
Greg. His name's Greg. I'm almost certain it's Greg. Certain it's Greg. I've lived a life.
This was at the heat, right?
Yeah. He's a nice guy.
Final game.
Yeah, and you're right. I won't make him kill. What? When we get to the fly keyword, you can all.
Now you're the only person to do it.
You can all get ready. Yeah. I know. Anyway, so I think Chaos is where Soup makes the most sense. Does Twitch Vasiliath? I agree.
It did,
So
yeah.
for me, I
Yeah.
thought Soup was initially it was I have the Imperium keyword. I can take anything with me Imperium and put him in. Too strong. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
too
now
much.
I need Space Marines, Imperial Guard, and
Custodes,
Knights.
yeah.
Or Custodes
Yeah,
or whatever.
anything like that.
Right, so I still have all of I can still cherry pick, especially from the larger factions.
Mhm.
So really hasn't cut down on that. I would say that's Soup. But it does then mean I can't just take an Inquisitor here or there just because it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that they solved anything with the Battle of the Spring?
Yeah.
I don't want to labour this one too long.
I do.
You do.
I think they solved a
They,
few
they
things.
solved something,
They solved some things, but
but they didn't just say you just have to be one keyword. Like in Age of Sigmar, as an example, you have to be 1,600 points
Yeah.
of a single faction.
for a 2,000 point game.
For a 2,000 point game, and you can only ally in very specific 400 points of allies.
I can only think of one abusable example that gets straight around that.
Like
Anything plus guard.
Well, but you couldn't fit a knight into 400 points.
No, you can fit a gallon.
Yeah.
But you can just take a main army, like, say, Custodes, and then just have the standard guard battalion in there. It doesn't regen the command points anymore, but you can just take the Custodes primary detachment. That saves you command points on buying relics and buying warlord traits.
But in the Age of Sigmar version, you would only be able to use the stratagems for Custodes in that example.
Oh, which is fine, but you've still got the command points from the guard.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So command points are an issue either way, but, I think sometimes it's the interactivity between stratagems from one book and then stratagems from another book at the same time.
Yeah.
You can really cover your bases.
It's like the Space Wolves thing with the Intercept, which they've changed now. But we'll get to that. Yeah.
Right. In addition, following 2 match play rules are also confirmed. Oh wait, match play rules are confirmed in the spring update. Continue to apply. So Psychic Focus, which is stop smite spam, that's fine, and then targeting characters, same targeting rule for characters, fine.
Yeah.
Okay with that?
Yep. Fine.
Yeah.
Twitch chat okay with that? Everyone okay with that?
I do still find it a little bit ridiculous when you've got a character out in the open, an infantry guy, completely out of sight, and you still can't shoot the character. I do find that still a little bit hard to justify in my head. Yeah. But I'm happy with how it plays on the table. I don't think it's not a problem, but I just find it, it's just one of those situations where...
Can I say that I personally wouldn't let armies have more than one detachment in? I like your guard.
One detachment.
No, not one detachment, but I mean one faction. I just be like, you're playing guard, you're a guard player, son. Yeah, you're a Custodes player, you're a Custodes player, son. For me, because when we do that in Age of Sigmar, and I'm not saying it's better, but I do much prefer it because it's so restrictive.
Yeah.
It's so deeply restrictive.
But I think if that was the case, I would never play my Bloodletters.
Huh?
I would never play my Bloodletters if that was the case. Because Khorne, or maybe it could be just demons, but I think Khorne demons on its own would just never be competitive.
Well, my argument is for this also is when you're adjusting points for, let's say, Bloodletters, as an example, knowing that those Bloodletters can also be integrated into part of Army X or Army Y, it becomes so difficult to move that. If they're just in a demon force, they should be points X. If they're in a demon plus chaos force, they should be more. But if they're in a demon's force plus another shittier demon's force, they should be points less.
Well, the example I like to use here is Gulliman. Because Gulliman is only as efficient as the stuff you build around it. So if I have Gulliman and I have just a bunch of scouts, that's not as good as having Gulliman and 18 aggressors and predators, for example. So if I'm looking to take Gulliman with my scouts army, suddenly his points are too high. It's not worth it. If I'm taking it with that, his points are too low. So it's a similar thing with the Bloodletters. If you take the Bloodletters in something where their function is actually really, really important, they're more valuable than their points suggest. Whereas if you take them in some kind of awful Defiler list, they're not worth it.
Yeah, and that's really where my point is. I think it would be easier for them, and they're giving themselves a headache which they haven't as of yet convinced me that they're able to cure or even approach sensibly. Is have the Bloodletters in this example be only takeable within the Khorne Demon faction, Khorne Demon book, or the Demons book. Done, we're sorted, and some people are like, I don't want to be restricted, and I think it's cool. I really want to put Hector Rex into my army, right? Without taking an Inquisition Supreme Command detachment. And narratively, it makes sense, but already narratively, they're doing so many things which are anti-narrative.
Well, there was a weird one in the FAQ where they say, we did something that... in fact, it's the next one that comes up. They say, but someone emailed us and said it was probably against the narrative, so we changed it to make it more narrative-focused for a matched play rule.
Really?
Yeah. It was for reserves thing.
Oh,
thanks, Aaron Wilson, AOS. Great to see you.
Yeah.
Open play to break restrictions. Match play is built on restrictions from the very start. Yeah, that makes a really good point. You play open play to have no restrictions.
Yeah, and play with all your toys.
And match play should be restrictive.
Didn't they used to have a matrix grid type thing?
The Allies.
The Allies was literally one of the fucking huge problems with Sevens.
Oh, I loved it, Nate.
Oh, yeah, of course you did.
Yeah, I did.
Hello, I'm Tom, and we're not going to
This
play
is my guard
today.
block, hello.
This is going to play itself, fuck you. All right.
How dare you?
I don't mean that, but I really do.
I know. I've been getting a lot of stick on Twitter today.
Good.
Great. John's already come and killed me.
It's impossible to balance Codex taken, says Loxley, taking into account all the things you can allay without screwing the people who only play a single faction, in my opinion, which is why I think I think not AOS, 40k needs that. I like it. I like that restrictive nature. It just seems really good for me. But that's my opinion. We don't all have to agree. That's absolutely fine. I like it.
I do quite like being able to mix and match things.
No, I do too. But then it's the same as anything, right? It's like if you gave me a power that every gun I had now did only mortal wounds, I would like that. And then if you took it away, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to take that away.
That was good.
But they should. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
It's like the Lord Croak thing from AOS.
Yeah,
I liked removing your entire army from the board.
That was fun.
Yeah.
But also, when you change it, you go, yeah, that's fine.
That was reasonable.
That's reasonable. Those are my thoughts. Anyway. Do you got dissenting opinion, or you're like, I quite like that we can still mix and match?
I like that you can mix. Although I do think it would be cool if they, similar to the AOS approach, they kind of limited what you could mix with. I'm not really sure how they do that. Maybe a points limit of allies. Maybe whatever your warlord was, that had to be your main faction.
Maybe
you
it has
could
to be a
have
patrol.
Yeah, maybe they restrict the detachments that you can take. Maybe not a battalion, or I don't know, something different.
Most of the time I just take spearheads anyway, though. So
yeah.
It's still too loose, I think, with that one. But
yeah.
Okay. I would say AOS has got it in a really good place. Like playing both game systems, it's just really good. Like you've got to be so specific, and it's like you can only have 400 points. It has to be 1 unit for every 4 units in your main army. Like it's just decent, realistically. And then you don't gain any of the benefits for your allies that you gain for your main force.
Or maybe you have a secondary rule. So you know how you have like chapter traits. So if you have a detachment of Ultramarines, you get an Ultramarine trait. What if you had a secondary trait for if your entire army has that keyword? It's more powerful. Just an incentive not to suit.
Yeah, I just think a restriction to not suit. Like what's Pure Grey Knights versus Pure Guard?
Even when they first released 8th, because you were obviously covering it, one of the things they said was, we want to incentivize being as specialized as possible, right?
Yeah.
So you could easily do that by just having a secondary chapter trait for if your entire army has it. Surely.
Yeah.
One that's far more powerful than just an detachment one, so you get both.
I like the suit thing has not been tackled, in my opinion.
No, it hasn't. Not enough.
No.
Not enough. No, and also I like restrictive armies because it means you I've got knights, they're great, but they've got no models in it, so you can't hold objectives. Like that's cool. Like
speaking of holding objectives, oh my god,
it's just a thing that exists.
I don't really have a foot in either camp. I just whatever game you want to make, I'll play.
You just hate Goose Fair.
Yeah.
Right. Next one, tactical reserve. So. There's a long...
Tactical reserve.
So
Poor Gene Stealer cults.
There's a long paragraph, and it's basically you can't deep strike or infiltrate, mostly, in the first turn.
Well, you can't deep strike in the first turn.
You can't deep strike in the first turn.
But there is a... Just to counter this, is one of the things I'm going to bring up from Gene Stealer cults now. So it screws Gene Stealer cults for the most part. Mm-hmm. But we've added something in Xenos 2, whereby, so when you drop down from Gene Stealer cults, if you roll a 5, you get to advance at the end of a move towards wherever. Now you can advance or shoot. And that's actually a bigger buff than you'd think, because most of the Gene Stealer cult lists were built around having lots of neophytes and making them fearless. And if you're dropping all those units down on a 5-bet, immediately they can give on a shooting attack. That's an extra 40 shots coming at you.
That's cool.
So, you can't do it turn 1, but when the Gene Stealer Cult Codex drops, that's encouraging.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's talk about what was the problem that they established with the deep strike in turn 1.
Is there anything in the community post?
Yeah, no, it's not just in the community post. It's also in the
narrative.
designer's notes. Yeah. So there was a narrative element to it, like the idea that they would just turn up in your deployment zone seemed weird. That seems like an excuse, personally. But the ability to arrive on the battlefield mid-game remains very powerful, enabling units that can do so to arrive will be most effective whilst granting them immunity from attacks until they are on the battlefield. Armies that use heavy proportion of reinforcement units continue to dominate on many gaming tables, which is why
lies.
Which is why we felt necessary to rein in the power of these abilities in spring 2018. However, our original beta rule, which limited the units to arrive at reinforcement in the first round, being settled with their own deployment zone, received a lot of mixed feedback, and it did when we covered the FAQ in the first place, because we said, it doesn't stop anything other than combat armies from doing well.
And this still doesn't stop the things like the jump, Dark Matter Crystal, Upon Wings of Fire, and what have you, stratagems and abilities that allow units that were already on board to jump across.
Exactly. However, our original paper rule, which limited the units that arrived reinforced in the first round being set within their own deployment zone, received a lot of mixed feedback. Whilst it did help to rein in the power of some armies that used heavy portions of reinforcement units, it also raised a lot of questions for players regarding which units' abilities, powers, and so were affected. Some players felt it was unfair that all of their units were restricted whilst all their opponents' units were exempt. Perhaps the biggest criticism received, though, was the rule seemed to break many players' suspension of disbelief, as they could not understand the background reasons behind it. So the main reason, apparently, is because of suspension of disbelief.
Horrendous. Hate
it. That was the problem that they established. Do we think that they've lied there? Do we think that there was another reason?
I don't think they've lied. I just think that's dumb.
Okay.
I don't see any reason.
So it's easy to throw dumb and stupid around, right?
No, I just think that's dumb. I'm not saying they're dumb.
I agree, because when we get to the fly keywords, there's going to be some swear words. Right?
Cover Timmy's ears.
But like, what is it that we saw that was problematic in game for both versions? Let's look at 40k we've gone through.
I still think. Well, I think it's hashtag the first turn problem. Like people going first and winning the game because they just shoot the opponent off the table,
and they think that it's the deep striker's fault.
Yeah.
Well, this also has the opposite effect, because what I was doing was I was reserving things. So I was reserving Ravagers in case, because I knew I was going second. So therefore, I can reserve them. My opponent hits me. I keep all my Ravagers safe, drop Ravagers, and then I go.
Yeah.
So it has the opposite effect.
Yeah.
And especially with the fly keyword changes and what have you. If you are getting smashed by stuff that's jumping across the board turn 1, you are probably not playing it very well. So, your Bloodletters, for example, they're very, very powerful, they hit very, very well, but you can still only declare against things that are within 12 inches of you. So you've got a 3-inch gap from the front of my model, and that's the stuff you can hit. You can tie other stuff down, but at that point I'm just making a value judgment of, okay, what do I want you to hit? So I stick that at the front. I don't mind losing that, because all my more valuable stuff that I don't want you to hit is behind it.
Yeah, it's a really good example. And I will keep talking about Age of Sigmar because they are such parallel games. They're also wildly different because of unit types. And like, if you take a 40k Codex and stick it into Age of Sigmar, you can basically play it if you take out strength versus strength and toughness. It really simply, but it's a really healthy way of looking at it. And like, in Age of Sigmar, people can drop down whole armies.
Yeah. Clown car.
And there's more shooting, there's more close range shooting. There's not very many things you can drop 9 inches away and then drop 80 shots on and then fire again. Yeah, it's
that many shots.
It's the stratagems that really cause an issue. I would prefer to see, and this is just me wildly just off the top of my head now. So Nikos drops down, let's say, a unit of Bloodletters, right? And how much is it to do the 3d6 charge? Then is it any command points or none?
Before the game, it's 1 point.
Before the game,
yeah, 1 point for that.
See, like,
but 2 points to.
What would be fun is if I just go, you go, I'm going to spend a command point to do that, and I go, I'm going to spend 2 command points for no.
So Vect.
Well, but no, but like, so whatever your command point is that you can spend, I have to double it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I'm going to reroll charge for us a command point. I'm like, there's 2 command points, you can't spend it, right? That you play that CP game with each other, yeah, because it's a resource. Because
it's a value judgment again.
Yeah, because the stratagems are so massive in turning an army from to. But that's another conversation for after. We've moved on too quickly.
Yeah.
Sorry. What do you think? Like,
I think it genuinely does nothing, apart from annoying me, because now I have to take Reapers again rather than Ravagers.
Yeah. Nikos? Because you were a big fan of the counter charge, weren't you?
Yeah, like
keep striking during deployment, counter charge.
Like I think lots of people like to play combat armies in 40k, and that change initially when they made it just made gun lines stronger, and this has not really helped in any way for combat armies who want to go and hit you like early in the first turn. They've got to wait. They've got to weather a storm before they can even do anything. I do quite like the idea that you can't, if you're going to deep strike, you can't deep strike turn 1 because, like your example, Tom, with the Ravagers.
Yeah.
Because that was just, you just don't deploy them. You drop them down turn 1, and it's as if they hadn't deployed.
It does cost you 3 CP though. That's the only thing.
I agree. I quite like the idea of you can only deep strike on the second turn, and then it has to be done by the third turn or they're destroyed. It really doesn't. It taxes you. You go, okay, that first turn is going to be really important. And as an opponent, I can be like, well, can I zone out their deep strikers so it's not even a big deal?
Yeah. It is worth mentioning though that this entire FAQ is a bit of a mixed bag for Reapers versus Ravagers. So both are still quite good. It just depends upon what you're hitting.
Hi, my name's Tom, and I'm going to be talking about the Craft War Eldar book as the
FAQ
applies to it. Angle, thanks for subscribing to the Twitch chat. I really appreciate it. Angle says they need to kill the idea that they can't tell people the reasons for doing things. I think that's
if your reasoning's a bit dodgy, that's fine. Just tell people. No one cares.
Yeah. Sprint MD says not lie, simple, never attribute to malice, which is adequately explained by stupidity, which is often what we say when we cover the rules for games,
especially the big FAQs.
Yes, and but Brain Freak says what's scary is they might actually believe the statement that they do it for immersion points. And let's take let's take it on face value. Yeah. So face value, it's unimmersive that people in teleportariums or other things would arrive on the tabletop. Okay, fine.
No deep strike for anyone.
We're going to put this in a little box, and this is going to be Rob's Exhibit A. Yeah, and when I come to a certain rule in a bit, I'm going to be using that.
So we're going to put that on the shelf ready.
That's on the shelf, and we're just going to move on. Let's talk about other bits. What problems does it fix? In my opinion, none. That's my opinion. I don't think it fixes any problems that I saw.
Correct. Yeah.
That was my opinion.
Makes Reapers better.
Nikos?
I think it takes away. I don't know. The Ravager thing just seems. Yeah, you can just keep your gunboat safe, and they guarantee you're going to shoot the first turn.
You could do the same thing with other units.
Yeah,
like webway balls and what have you. But
for
those units, you can stick in wave serpents, which you can now give a 2+ save.
Yeah, I feel like their intent was to stop people losing the game on turn 1, and it's not really done that. It's just hampered certain types of armies and units.
Yeah, and we literally talked about this. So we talked about this in the first FAQ. Let's bring it up one more time. In my opinion, this is my opinion, and you guys are free to dissent in the Twitch chat. I know you guys are all writing stuff, and you too yourself. In my opinion, what they did was they stopped you from deep striking into your opponent's deployment, or 9 inches away from your opponent's deployment on the first turn. I would have loved that, because then I can charge you and I can lock down your shooting units. And it's your shooting units that are an issue. Now I have to run across the board and hit your shooting units. A really good example is I watched a really early game of Age of Sigmar, not Age of Sigmar, a 40k on the live stream, and I watched a fella and he brought like 3 units of Berserkers and he just ran at a Primaris gun line. And the gun line wasn't good or optimized. It was 2 hobby people. It was like at that point the general manager of Warhammer World and the guy who's in charge of the studio. Yeah, beautiful armies. And then the guy was like, it was incredibly hard to commentate on. Yeah, because
there's nothing going on.
Because they just ran forward, got shot, ran forward again, and died. Yeah, and he was like, I was expecting that. I was like, you're running at a gun line. What do you expect? Yeah, but deep striking at a gun line, it's a 9-inch charge. But that's what Tom. I think the chances of a 9-inch charge is something like. With a reroll, it's something like 54%.
With a reroll, it's like 50. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And that's half and half. I'll take that all day long.
It's better than getting shot and dying.
It's better than getting shot and dying, and especially as Tom is there screening really well. So all I'm actually doing is murdering crap he doesn't give a fuck about.
Even before the FAQ, if you're losing the game turn 1 to a melee army, the problem isn't the rules. The problem is probably you.
Yeah, and I would agree with that.
And we can help you.
Yeah, we can help.
We can help with that.
Yeah, we would like to.
Nothing to be ashamed of. Like we all start somewhere, but.
100%. Yeah, so and then what they did was now you can't deep strike, so gunline's got stronger. Yeah, cool. Now I still can't. It's not really affected the melee portion in any way, shape, or form. But now I can't keep my fragile shooting units off the board either.
No,
those
unless you're Ella.
Yeah. So I don't think. I think all they're doing is compounding. I think all they're doing is compounding the problem they already created in the first FAQ, which is gunlines are just stronger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. That's my feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So we don't think they achieved what they. Oh no! Wait. Hold on. They set out. So two versions. They set out to stop immersion. Do you feel they achieved
immersion?
Do you feel they achieved that?
Yes. This is less immersive.
They wanted to be more immersive.
No.
No.
Because.
No. I don't think. What's the narrative reason why they can't come in at the start of the battle?
Yeah, I think we've got to wait, lads. Steady on. He's only just picked up his dice.
We
can't come down.
The batteries are charging up on the teleportarium chamber.
Yeah, I do remember.
To wait one
reading
turn.
the first Horus Heresy book with Horus, Lupercal, and he had this stratagem, which was cut off the head of the snake, which was him, his Mournival, and all of the Terminators, like, from the first company, would just teleport down into wherever the fucking boss of the planet was, and they just battle his, like, elite soldiers and just kill the king. That was Lupus's, like, that was Horus's, like, you know, they wrote it like, the strategy of the Lunar Wolves, and I was like, that's not really a strategy, but sure.
Kill them.
Yeah, kill them. I was like, okay, right.
They can't do that now. That's
they can't do that now, yeah? So maybe they're just like, fuck chaos, you know? Like,
Well, that was in Heresy, so
yeah, I mean...
that's fine then.
7th Fed was a much better game anyway.
Yeah.
Right, Maximus 40k, hello brother. Did they have good trains? Totally different game otherwise. Evening, Mr. Tumnus. Hope you're all well. Hi, Hook and Pin. Hope you're well as well. Okay. So immersion. Did they solve that? Answer.
No.
Cool. And then answer to us. Answer to the gamers at home listening. Does that change? What does that change about the game for armies you may face? Do you think, like, where's it going to push the game, that particular rule change?
Safer to play Reapers. More Reapers.
We've heard from Craft World.
Let's assume you're not playing.
I'm only playing one book. I'm only playing one book. This is your suggestion.
Think about other armies you're playing against, Tom. How does that change?
What else deep strikes early? Gene Stealers are screwed. For now. Until the book comes out.
Hey, Bob Monkey Cheese!
Can't they, like, deploying their nodes and they come out of the node? Or is that still a deep strike?
That's still a random from reserve.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
Okay.
Tyrants now can't hide, I guess, but it's not really a big deal. Obliterators in certain types of deployment. So, for example, search and destroy the pointy ones.
The question also goes to the Twitch chat. What does it change about 40k for everyone, like, being able to only deep strike in the second?
Is it worth bringing up the other FAQs about the infiltrating stratagems while we're here as well?
Yeah, we'll go through as we go through. It's just
important for
we're
this
doing it in
one.
isolation.
So I kind of, with my Bloodletter Bomb army, I kind of always aimed for turn 2 or 3 anyway. I never really did it turn 1. So I built half my army to kill the screen, half my army to kill the stuff behind the screen. So if you're going to be deep striking, maybe
I can take Magnus,
yeah,
right, ignoring the rule that we don't want to talk about right now. Might not even talk about it.
We will, because that was my question.
He can move 12 inches, yeah. I can then warp time him.
Yeah.
And
I can
then
advance
charge.
on the first one. He can move 16 inches.
16 inches, so 32 inches.
Yeah.
So 32 inches is pretty fast.
I mean, he just bops you in the head.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he doesn't. He's got to fly.
Never talk about it. The people in the chat says, Jay Bootsy says, changing nothing for me. Wasn't the original reserves thing to shut down Flyrants arriving in phase turn 1, but then also at the same time they also reduced it to 3, so it wasn't a particular issue realistically. But Happy Inquisitor, to give you another example, the elite Astromilitarum Scion Scions.
Oh, yeah, the
Tempestus Scions. They would drop down and do some pretty decent shooting.
What do you think about Terminators?
Oh my god. Bob Monkey Cheese.
Those poor bastards.
they don't want to sell any Terminators.
No, they don't want to
do not want to sell
models.
Terminators. Bob Monkey Cheese is all about FAQ time. He loves just watching, just fly around. The jump is okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, I think it just makes it just like it's always been a shooting game.
It doesn't really change much as far as
Changes nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. They did that already. It just makes combat way worse all the time.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright. So, next up. So, tactical reserves, cool. Whatever. So then there's some related FAQs, erratas, didn't they? So they change a bunch of stratagems.
They did. This is the interim balance review.
No, this is related errata.
Related errata, okay.
Yeah, so...
No.
So Mechanicus now can't redeploy their unit. So they hurt Styges 8 being able to redeploy their unit.
That screwed you.
Before the battle round starts. I don't play Mechanicus anymore.
Well, it really stung because...
Yeah, of course it really
it
stung.
just
But
ruins
the Codex really stung. The Codex is a steaming dog turd.
It had something it could do when you had 18
It did have something.
When you had 18 of them, you stuck them outside of 9 inches of someone and said, there you go, deal with that.
So that was a stratagem for Mechanicum. So they don't have transports. They don't have anything that can fly. They don't have anything particularly fast. The fastest unit in their army is movement 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a problem. They don't have the ability to move twice. They don't have the ability to run and charge. They do have the ability to run and shoot. at -2 to hit,
Oh,
which they
that's
can
right.
overcome with a stratagem, to be fair. But
That's
they did
more
have,
command
if you took
points,
Stingy's 8 as your Forge World, you were able to redeploy a unit at the beginning of the turn before you took the first turn. So that was a big deal because you could just, I mean, if you didn't get the first turn, it was bad, but you can still do it.
Yeah.
Can't do that now. You can move them 9 inches.
Yeah.
Well, if they didn't have any flying units, then they're not. They've done all right.
Why are you bringing it up?
Yeah.
Why are you bringing it up? I'm being constructive for the moment.
They're not being hit that hard by the.
They also hit in the same way Alpha Legion, the forward operative stratagem, and Raven Guard, the Strike from the Shadows stratagem. So now you're only ever playing.
Well, I still think it's good. I don't mind this change because I don't know. I think dropping 40 cultists 9 inches away straight away going first, +1 to wound, shooting twice. I don't know. Bit good, so I'm happy that's been toned down.
It's more of a Space Marine one because basically what you can now do is you're only 18-inch range anyway on the aggressors.
Yeah.
And if you're placing before the game, you get to shoot twice, right?
Yeah.
So what you end up doing is you'd have to feed at least 1 unit to your opponent. So let's say you're playing Hammer and Arrow, I'll come over here. So that is 48 inches. Then I'm moving 9, and then there's a 9-inch. There's basically like a 3 inches into my deployment zone that they can hit without moving. They then have to move, which means they halve the number of shots, and then they still might not be able to hit me because I've got ways I can hide at the back. Basically, it's easy to just avoid them now. They also did change ranges.
Should it be so easy just to get them in range? Doesn't that make you have to play the game better?
I don't think it's strong that much anyway, because they have 18-inch range, which means what you end up doing is you either fire half the number of shots that you'd normally be firing, or you hit whatever your opponent wants you to hit, and then you're a squishy Marine body. The Mars Marines are in a tough enough spot as it is. I don't think they're that good, and I don't think this. I mean, you've got to be consistent with your rulings, right? But it's just
Says the guy that can move 42 inches then charge. Yeah.
66 inches.
So sorry. So sorry. Yeah, you've got to be consistent. Right.
We've got Eldon nerfs, mate.
Hold on. XT90 and 984 Mole Machine Transport for Mechanicum. I'm sorry, you can get the Forge World Mole Machine. That is actually pretty decent. Angle reckons the game should be primarily shooting with melee as a crushing blow. It's sci-fi fantasy. My argument would be that they actually call it space fantasy. No, they might call it sci-fi fantasy. You might be right, but they definitely call it a fantasy game. But when you do read the novels, they do say they are like Captain Herodius fires his autocannon. You're like, cool, but but you know when they get they do have a huge proportion of the units have axes and swords and hammers.
Because they're better at getting through the armor because the armor's so good.
Yeah, but whatever the methodology is, it's also got some pretty good combat-y stuff.
Yeah, and there's cool armies like World Bearer's army with all the Khorne Berserkers in the world, or Death Company armies and things like that.
Or Tyranids. Tyranids, they can be shooty, but they also can be quite fighty. And
they should be equally placed.
Yeah, I would probably challenge the idea that it should be primarily a shooty game. I feel that it's got a lot of shooting in, and a tank should have its place, along with a fella flying through the. It seems weird, but a fella flying through the air with a hammer.
It's not meant to be realistic.
Yeah,
it's 40k, bro.
It's a fantasy game. That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, saying it's a shoot game. I'm also there's a guy murdering me with mind bullets. So there's magic.
Yeah.
But I'm just challenging that idea. If anyone doesn't agree and thinks it should be a shooting game, that's cool. And we've got I'm not trying to affect what the game should be based on my personal opinion. We're just having a good.
Yeah, it's just about whatever you want the game to look like at the end of it.
Yeah. Right. Geeks Wargaming. Admech have no CP farm either. Yeah, that's true. They have a Castellan robots. That's correct. Hi, Stray Light. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is really cool. We're glad to have you here. I'll try and keep up with the chat and talk to the guys. So, what do you think about that stratagem change for everyone? I'll ask you two while I read the chat.
We're not including the Rangers in that, right?
No.
Because it's a special role. Okay. I feel really sorry for AdMech, and I feel really sorry for Space Marines.
Don't worry. You've been following it. If anyone wants to just really watch a really good video, just go and watch the first minute and a half of Winter's SEO's AdMech review, which is just gold. It's just gold. I remember when I worked for Games Workshop, I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, Winters, come on, I'll give you Belisarius call." But no one knows, sign an NDA. And then he was like, and then he came on, he painted it, he played the battle report. He was like, yeah, this is in the old edition. He was like, yeah. Big Admech player, loved him. I'd watch his bat reps on YouTube. I was like, you're just a fucking cool dude. Yeah. And then he did his review for the Admech book, and he was like, if you'd like a good story about Admech, then just showed the Horus Heresy novel, read this. And if you'd like some cool rules for Admech, showed the Horus Heresy game book, he went, play this. And he went, and this is the 40k book. And he was like, it's shit. And I think he got told off for that because he got stuff ahead of time, so it was completely worth it.
He's not allowed to be honest about it.
No, I think he is anyway. Yeah, so Admech are already in a bad place, so let's not talk about the fact that they're in a bad place.
Even worse place now.
Yeah, and if you like Admech, man, just fucking keep playing them anyway. Fuck everyone. Win 5 games and prove us all wrong.
The Alpha Legion one is kind of, whatever.
I don't think Alpha Legion will lose out too much. Yeah, you can't put a big blob of cultists or whatever straight away in that fire range.
Traitors it if you're that desperate.
Yeah, if you're really desperate, you could do that.
Probably shouldn't.
But I think Chaos are in an okay place because you get a 9-inch move, and then you can then, if you go first, move and then move again with warp time with certain units.
I feel like Chaos are in an okay place because Plague Bearers and Thousand Suns are a thing. And Abaddon. Yeah. I never thought I'd say that. Abaddon's a thing, therefore Chaos are fine.
Important point to make. Tristan says, what about Corsairs, Tom? Feel sorry for the Corsairs.
I didn't get to properly look at the Corsairs. I saw the heavy burst cannon ruling on the Tiger Shark, and I lost it. I got very excited.
Yeah, that's really good.
What's that do?
They've changed its... so you could give it 2 heavy burst cannon. Yeah. They've swapped it so you can now take what is called 2 swift strike burst cannon, which are noticeably more shit than the heavy burst cannon.
Noticeably more shit. Way more shit.
Way more shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, get dabbed on Tiger Sharks.
Yeah. Right. So next up, babies, is new beta match play rules.
We've got the Rangers and the Yunkan. They are important.
What, in this particular part where we're talking about deep striking.
Yeah. After that bit. There's a bit after that.
It's in the related errata.
Oh, okay.
Section.
Is it in Xenos?
So no, it's Codex Craft Rules, pages 91 and 94.
At the end of the middle phase, this unit can emerge from the web base.
So it's rather than infiltrate, it's now a reserve come down. So you can't use them to screen, which is very, very important. Which means you might see some Dire Avengers popping out. And then you've got the Yunkan one, which is really, really important. So it's a subtle change, but it's important. So it's when you set up the Yunkan, it can be set up in waiting rather than on the battlefield, which means you can now set it up on the battlefield. Previously, you'd have to put it in waiting all the time, just wait 3 turns for something to die.
Yeah.
Whereas now you can put it on the board, so your opponent just can't go, okay, well, I'll kill nothing for 3 turns, your Yunkan automatically dies, and there you go.
Because when the first unit dies, right?
When any unit dies,
it comes on the board.
And that's why it's so powerful, especially in ITC format, because when anything dies, the Yunkan can take its place.
Yeah.
Just jump across the board. It's insane.
So now it can't do it on the first turn?
It can't do it on the first turn.
Right, okay. That's good, that's fair. Just reading what the guy's saying. KR
it can still move around on the first turn, but it can't come down on the first turn.
Okay. All right. School Council Grounders, they need to be made good. The quote that cracked me up with the Winter's review was something like, "What was good about it?" And he said, "Well, it's not 2 books." I mean, that's a good review.
This is the 7th ed book of the 8th ed.
This is the 8th ed book. It was great. Totally worth watching.
I'll have a look. I do like Winters.
It's just when you know someone loves us, when someone's that passionate about something.
Yeah.
It's not hard to sell them something.
It's like the old book comes out and then you and John read it and it's just hot garbage.
Well, I think John probably is a little bit upset that I haven't said, "Hey, it's October. There's no Orc Codex even said out yet," but they have showed some models. That's really exciting.
Rob, it's October and there's no Orc Codex.
Yeah, well, the Orc Codex is coming out right at the end of October.
Okay.
Have they've set a date for that thing?
No, but it's not in like the White Dwarf. But then the White Dwarf is having changes where it no longer is going to feature new content because it keeps leaking stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's so. I think. I don't know. How would I know? Right.
I don't know. How would you know?
I've got no idea. Right. So the next, there's new beta match play rules. Oh wait. So what problem? So that's still deep striking we're talking about, and it's related to the did Games Workshop fix a problem? What was the problem? Immersion. Did Games Workshop fix a problem?
It wasn't a problem in the first place.
Wasn't a problem in the first place. Do we rate that fix? Yes or no?
It wasn't broken.
Because
What the infiltrate?
really fucking with my methodology here.
It's like that
infiltrate
meme with the guy who's like, "My work here is done," but you didn't do anything. He just walks off.
It's more like the meme where with the butterfly, and it's like, "Is this a problem?"
Yeah.
And it just says deep strike.
Is this unimmersive?
Nikos, thoughts and press?
Which one are we talking about?
Because the whole deep striking thing.
The whole deep striking thing.
Yeah, well, not the whole deep striking thing.
Deep striking thing-
Let's move on.
We've done
Yeah,
that.
you
We've
beat
done
it.
that.
Let's move on.
You
We
beat
beat that to death. Right, so basically there's a new stratagem that can be used to stop the hashtag first turn problem, Nikos's main problem, hashtag first turn problem, which is, in Nikos's opinion, and I assume Games Workshop's opinion, and lots of other people's opinion, is that the first turn causes so much damage that you need a stratagem to prepare for it. Yeah?
Or just build an appropriate army.
All that. And it's 2 command points, and it allows everything other than Titanic units.
Yep.
Yeah. Correct.
Everything, including like a vehicle.
Including Weird Serpents and including Eldar Flyers, which have 3-up saves, so it's incredibly efficient.
So they now get a 2-up save.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. Fuck me.
And I don't need the intercept.
Fuck me.
And I don't need the intercept stratagem because no one's deep striking anyway. So those 2 command points go on this. So -2 to hit. Oh, sorry, -1 to hit because I don't get to move. 2+ save vehicles, which reduce damage by 1, have a 6+ feel no pain with all my guns inside.
Shut up, Tom. Like, this is
It's
what
another Eldar buff.
Huh?
It's another Eldar buff.
Fuck off, Tom. That's what I think. Joe, who doesn't have a 3-up save base, my Harlequins, they get nothing from this 2 command points.
It is
But in the
worth.
vehicles, they're 4+ as well.
Yeah,
Maybe.
4+
They
invulnerable,
might.
aren't they?
But they're getting shot with like melter guns and las cannons. So they're getting
Yeah.
shot with like fucking darts.
Here's a thing. This is why I was talking about Ravagers and Reapers earlier, because the Ravagers are AP -3,
Yeah.
and the difference between AP -3.
Hello,
and
welcome to the Eldar Craft World
It's lovely.
show. Apparently,
This is why I'm on the show, dude.
yeah.
So the difference between AP -3 and AP -2 is massive when you've got
Mathematically,
yes, when you automatically have cover. So it's basically like the difference between AP -1 and AP -2 now.
Yeah.
So this is better for Ravagers if playing aggressively, but it's better for Reapers if playing defensively.
So first off, it sounds like it's better for Space Marines because it turns 1 into Terminators,
it does,
which is great.
and then
Yeah.
they die.
And then they die.
Buff for Terminators.
Huh?
It's a buff for Terminators.
It is a buff for Terminators
Who aren't in the Teleportarium.
who are going to walk across the battlefield.
This is the problem. So if you're starting on the board to take advantage of this to give you a 2+ save with your Space Marines, what's ending up happening is you're then out in the open for the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not fast enough to just walk across.
Well, there might be like some terrain just outside your deployment zone that you're going to walk into turn 1.
Yeah, there could be. There could be. The other thing is Predators. This is actually really, really good for Predators.
Yeah.
Because Predators now get a 2+ save, and that means they get to hit back perfectly fine.
Yeah, you might be able to
Plus,
do that.
every wound that you get through can be 4 wounds if you're using the kill shot stratagem to hit things like monsters and you're trying to hit vehicles. So if you're going to get build Space Marines, I think if you're looking for an optimal Space Marine build, it's probably going to be something like Patrick Sanfilippo's list, where he's running Gulliman and a bunch of Predators.
But it's also good for Rhinos, like someone in the chat's just
Razorbacks,
saying there. Ghost Valley, thank you very much. So like anything that already started with a 3-up save is getting like buffed massively into that 2-up save. So that's pretty good. But, and I talked about this before, and this is the thing that I always think, and feel free to again dissent, like, I always say never take a vehicle if it doesn't have an invulnerable save. Sorry, don't take a multi-wound model if it doesn't have an invulnerable save.
Yes.
Yeah, my reasoning is because everything that does multi-wound damage or usually has a high strength value, always has a good AP value. And because it's got a high strength value, it's easy to wound those vehicles or models or monsters. And because it's got a good AP value, it punches through its basic 3-up or even 2-up armor quite well.
I think we can expand on that to say don't take a multi-wound model that is solely reliant upon an armor save to keep it alive.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be an invulnerable save.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and I don't think this helps in any way against for those. Maybe it does. Maybe because
It helps infantry, I think, rather than vehicles more.
Yes.
It helps Wave Serpents, of course.
And Eldar Flyers.
I don't know if I...
Come on.
but like general
Hemlock
infantry,
Red Fires.
it's a bit of a boost for them. But I just think it's like sweeping the problems under the carpet. Like the hashtag first turn problem. This is just like, oh well, it's like putting a patch over a leak. They've got a leak. I'll just put a little plaster over it with this stratagem rather than actually fixing the leak. Because of it, yeah.
Adam Swim is a podcast wanker who's made it to the live show. Thanks very much.
Hey.
Is it me?
No, that's Adam Swim. No, because the people who listen to the podcast often, like, and there are thousands and thousands of them, because we're just a little bit short of 250,000 downloads, which is pretty bonkers. I don't know if that's a lot. Sounds a lot.
Even if you're here now, get that.
Bigger than 10.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty great. So thank you. And thanks for sharing it. But Adam Swims obviously listens to the podcast, doesn't crash his bike or car while doing so. As
He
some people have done.
survived.
He survived, so well done. And is coming to the shows there. Thanks very much.
Awesome.
Helps chimeras, helps rhinos. Does it help dreadnoughts?
Yeah.
It's a similar way to the way in which it helps Primaris Marines or Space Marines, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nothing. Like, it's nice having a save.
You're alive for an extra turn.
Yes. But then getting across the board, but I suppose the question then goes: does it push the shoot? Because now it's just like, I'm going to shoot you, you're going to shoot me. Yeah, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to shoot you, me. Does it push some of those armies? Or hopefully, I don't know. So that was the problem, the first turn problem, that people were losing on the first turn.
Yeah.
That was the problem. That's their solution. We've talked about it a bit. Do we think that they've done a good job with that solution?
I like this.
You'd really like this?
I actually quite like it because it actually means there's a discussion as to how you're going to build a gun line now.
Okay. So now we're building a gun line, but how are we building it?
Well, I might be tempted to even take second turn.
Okay. All right, that's cool.
In fact, I probably would take second turn because there's no way anyone's going to pop my serpents. I'm going to just jump out and I hit you and you don't have this protection.
That's a good point. Why didn't they include flyers in that rule, as in Titanic and flyers?
Yeah.
Spooky smoke.
My Wazbomb blaster jet now has got a 4+ save.
There's so many advantages.
4+.
Well, he's got a 5 vulnerable save anyway, so...
Oh.
There's so many advantages to taking second turn. Not only do you get the jump on objectives, but you get this.
Yes.
It's just better in most cases. Now.
Okay, so
it's gone too far the other way.
Nikos, do you think that, and Twitch chat, everyone listening, do you think that this is a good answer to the problem?
I think it's an okay answer. I don't think it's good.
Okay. Interestingly, it's the answer that they needed to create for the problem they created with the first turn deep striking rule. Yes or no?
I think it's swung too far the other way.
Right. Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Giovanni reckons that her Games Workshop beta testing is new Eldar relic. Tom's hair relic -1 to best game.
Wait a minute, I got 2 best game votes and 1 favourite army at the Heat. How many did you guys get?
What, the Heat?
Who gave you a favourite army?
Someone who wanted to give me a best game.
I got a favourite army at the
Heat.
Heat.
Wanted to give 3 people.
And my army looked like a poop.
Also, I somehow managed to sneak my army onto the live stream, so that's impressive.
That is impressive. That's impressive. Hi, Lone Wolf 81. Rob, how do you see Wave Serpent Shield work? I've seen so many people do it 2 different ways.
Yeah.
To play RAI.
I don't think it was even... So...
Hold on. Versus Raw. And I will let Tom answer the question. But Lone Wolf, I'm going to suggest that I only play rules as written. And I never play rules as intended.
I actually don't think...
There isn't way to do
I actually don't think there's a discrepancy between intended and written. So it's just in
this case.
Yes, in this case at all. So it's just in the shooting phase on a 2+, you cause D3 more almost for close enemy unit that's visible. It's not a shooting attack, it's just an ability.
I think it's on about reducing the damage.
I don't...
So at the last heat we went to, the first Italian guy that I played, when I first shot his Wave Serpent, so I shot...
Triggered.
Italians!
Sorry to cause flashbacks. But this was one of the quick Italians. We finished this game. So I shot him. I can't remember what I shot. Let's say I shot the Wave Serpent with Avenger Gatling Cannon. That's the flat 2 damage. I get 3 through.
Yeah.
So that's 3 lots of 2 damage. Before, people have played it again. People have played it like each damage 2 is reduced by 1. So in total, it's 3 damage.
Yes, correct.
Whereas he was playing it, it was 6 damage in total, down to 5.
Well, he's hurting himself.
I know, when he said it that way, I was like, "Are you sure? I'm sure it's this other way. Are you sure?" And he was like, "No, it's this way."
You are correct, Nikos. He doesn't.
Yeah. I was like, "Are you sure?" But then that's the way he wanted to play it. So
that's the only way it plays. As an example, I play an AOS army that does reduce the first damage it takes every turn. Yeah, but that's written specifically that way, and it's the same rules writers. So
I believe it even specifically says each hit.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. But yeah, that'll be mine. But personal, and I agree. Right. So back to the story mode. So the way we were at, does it achieve it, Nikos? You like it?
I like it.
Do you like it or not like it? The prepared positions.
I think it'll be useful, but I me personally, the way I've designed my marine armies, I wouldn't use it that much because generally the marines I have are in cover. Any screens I've got, like my cultists, they go from a 6+ to a 5+ save. It's not really going to make them survive that much more, really. I don't think.
Okay. I don't like it. I think it is. I think it's a broad sweeping change to the game, which arguably, I mean, depends what game you were playing, but could even be argued to be almost a different version of the game. Yeah, to have +1 save across an entire army.
Codex, no.
Okay.
With absolutely unintended consequences.
Yep.
It's just like, we'll give everyone +1 save. And it's like, everyone, Talos, everyone, no. Fuck them already. Fuck them. Yeah. +1 save, no, fuck. No.
Do you have an Eldar Codex back there?
No.
Okay, never mind.
We'll sort it out later.
Okay.
We'll sort it out later.
I'm 100% certain.
We'll tweet.
Yeah.
Right, so, I don't like it. For me, that's my feeling because it's so broad sweeping. Like, again, we talk about, I've been learning a word for today. Fuck. I can't say it right.
You just
obfuscate. Obfuscate.
Obfuscate.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm saying that right. Obfuscate. But basically, muddy the waters. Last time we described FAQ as, some people have described it as taking a hammer instead of a scalpel to a problem. I described it as kicking over an anthill.
I feel like my analogy that just came to me is like they're making, it's not related to the soup problem, but they're making a bowl of soup. They're making a batch of soup, and they're like, they released 40k, and then they're like, oh shit, this doesn't taste very good. Let's add some more stuff in.
Salt.
Let's add some more salt.
That's what they're adding.
Let's add some more pepper.
Yeah.
Let's add some more other ingredients in. They keep adding more this prepared positions ingredients in to try and make it taste nice.
Yes.
They just keep adding things.
Yeah, but they don't. No, but they're not adding. So no, that's not how cooking. Yeah, cooking works like that, Nikos. That would be where you get the soup and you'd add your spice, right? So you'd add one spice, and you'd be like, oh, maybe tiny bit more pepper, tiny bit more salt. This isn't what they're doing. They're like, okay, this doesn't taste great. I'm gonna put this cow into it. Yeah. Oh, it's a bit meaty now at this stage. What will go really well with that? I think.
How did we end up here?
I'm just using the analogy because they're not doing it by precise micro measurements. Then it's like maybe garlic oil, 1 gallon of garlic oil. Those are my thoughts. But like, some people are going to say it's great, which is wonderful. For me, it's just too broad sweeping. Yeah, and that's what my issue is. Because it'll have unintended consequences.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
But then also, maybe that's the exciting bit. Like, what the fuck is... Like, someone just put, can I run around with 1+ land raiders?
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah? Yeah? I'm so excited.
Yeah, there it is. So any damage suffered by a wave serpent from a ranged weapon is reduced by 1. And each individual hit applies its own damage.
You're correct.
Because otherwise you would apply different D3s.
There you go. No problems. Hope that solved it for you. Right.
Thank you, Splinter.
So it's like sending half a corpse to the magic biologists, and telling them to have the soldier ready to fight it out. Majors biologists, yeah. Anyway, right, just leave that conversation.
Yeah, no, it's done. It's done. We've got it. We've got the role. It's done.
Good.
I just want to make sure I'm right on that because if I'm not, then I'm still in shit.
So then, how do we think this is going to change the game? That's the final part of this methodology for tactical reserves. How do we think it's going to change the game?
Easier deployment. Well, safer deployment. It might be more aggressive deployment, maybe?
You basically remove Seeds of Initiative from the game without actually removing Seeds of Initiative from the game because no one wants to go first.
Yeah, but if you go first, you still get to do a huge amount of firepower. If your firepower is... If this +1 does less than nothing realistically versus what you can bring to bear, going first is still a huge advantage. If you can nuke their Imperial Knight on the first turn,
right?
Because it does nothing. Like, it's still viable.
That's the only potential instance where I could see going first as being an advantage against knights, or against Magnus and Mortarion.
I think it's something like, again, this is I don't want to we should never mind because that isn't good. Like, what should they do instead? Isn't really going to be healthy, is it? It should just be, what's it going to do? Gun lines are going to be really good. Expect there to be a lot of... in my opinion, I think power armor will be a thing because Deathwatch are pretty good. Yeah, having 2+ save Deathwatch is going to be pretty good. Yeah. So those weight of dice shots that maybe would bring to bear that had -1 or didn't have -1, you were hoping Marines were going to make 1 and 2 up saves.
I've been saying this for a while. I think Death Watch is the best power armor book in the game right now.
Okay.
And I don't think it's even close.
Well, again, it's just playing against Nikos's power armor in cover is what's convinced me that 2-up save is going to be a big deal. Dreadnoughts with another +1 save is going to be a thing.
I think it's a placebo for Dreadnoughts, and I think it's a placebo for Primaris.
Okay.
Because
Scornergy.
Yeah. So what it is you don't die first turn, but right, so what can I do with this? Right, I've got on my life for another turn, what can I do? I walk up the board, I fire a heavy bolter, I don't know, what have they got? And then they get a shot and die.
Yes. And
even then, it's not necessarily mandatory because they don't have the invulnerable save. So if you're getting hit by something that's anti-vehicle, most likely it's at least AP -2. Now you have a 4+ save, it's not a certain thing you're going to live.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think it's a little inelegant, personally. Nikos, I know when you read it, you messaged me and you said, I think, they've solved that first turn problem. Like, do you think they actually have?
Cracked it.
Do you think?
No.
No, cool. All right, good. But again, like, messages, like the guys in the chat are talking, which is cool. Lone Wolf says, personally, I think the strat is good, but I think armies like Eldar have a -1 to hit strat, but Marines. Also, there's 95 people watching. If anyone wants to message their friends, I don't think we've hit 100 people on the 40k show.
We have before, yeah.
Have
we did once with some drama. I think it might have been the post-LGT show.
Ah, gutted. All right, but still tell people.
Gutted, we did really well a previous time.
Well, it's just exciting there's loads of you here. Thanks for joining us. You guys are amazing.
I know people are leaving now. We had 96 a second.
They're going to open up like 9 other...
One follower from 1,000 guys.
He's just left to go and message his friends and then come back.
So then there was the interim balance review on stratagems.
Oh, God.
Right, let's take these in order. So the prices of some of the stratagems have changed.
What about tactical restraint? We haven't covered that yet.
Oh, okay, sorry. So these are several warlord traits from relics that give you a chance to gain this thing that means nothing. There are several warlord traits, relics, and abilities that give you a chance to gain or refund command points. So basically, you can only refund 1 command point per... Is it turn or phase?
I think it's
turn. Battle round.
Battle round, which is...
Both players' turns.
Your turn, my turn, yeah.
Unless you're running the 7-fold chant ability, Player of Twilight, warlord trait. Woohoo! That's me.
And they're just on 6s, aren't they?
Yes. No, wait, the 7... my one is wrong on the... Maybe that's not the right name. Hashtag know the name. But apart from that, okay, so this is so the problem Games Workshop had, or the Warhammer community apparently had. I sometimes say perceived problem is that everyone had a lot of command points. The last FAQ, they gave everyone more command points. Oh, Hook and Beard, thanks for donating the bits. That's nice. You're going to get to see me do some sexy whipping now. She likes Thursdays because we're the sexy guys.
It's ladies' night.
It's ladies' night. That's right. It's Thursday night. It's ladies' night. Welcome to 40k. So yeah, Games Workshop gave everyone more command points, and then everyone used all those command points, and then everyone was like, there's a lot of command points flying around.
And then they didn't use all the command points. That was the problem. They kept regenerating the command points.
So yeah, it was the idea that you could regenerate huge amounts of command points and use them. You could generate them cheaply with things like Imperial Guard detachments, and then you could regenerate those, and you could spend them on detachments that could use those command points better, or because they like Imperial Knights or Blood Angels or Custodies. That's the problem, right? I'm just putting it out for everyone, because some people might be listening and be like, what is the problem? Right?
No problem.
No problem. And then they would be refunding those huge pool of root command points and then just using them to keep dackering and doing all sorts of crazy shit. So that was the problem. The solution was this. Yeah? Okay. So the answer is, Nikos, have they fixed the problem?
I think that it's
we did 107.
Oh man,
you guys are great. Oh, I'd get my nipple out, but not allowed on Twitch.
I did do that for a bit, streaming RuneScape in my back room while I was in Oxford. And then the terms of service came in.
So I won't be able to help you. I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do but thanks. You guys are great. You guys are fucking cool. Anyway, sorry, Nikos.
I would have liked them to do something a little bit less, because my slight issue with this is that it's just an added little bit of bookkeeping that you're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
Like, have I regenerated one this round? I can't remember. Can you remember? You have to write it down.
If you can't remember, just assume you have.
Or just remember. Yeah. So it limits you to only generating a max of 7 over the course of the game, which is way better than it was before. So
you're going to get both 7, though, if you...
Yeah.
And, well, the thing is, though, people won't be buying. So before with Guard and Blood Angels list, you'd take Tactical Genius, Veritas Vitae, and you'd take Corvus Aquila. So you'd be pretty much guaranteed to get most of your... You get about 55% of your command points back or something. So now I'm not sure if you even do that, because it's not worth it. But
so I wouldn't say it's fixed it, it's tempered it, though.
I like it.
It's tempered it. It's put a little bit of a break on it, but it's not solved that problem of I just have Imperial Guard who are just there to generate 5 command points that I'm going to spend on my knights. It's not solved that, but I don't really know how they would really do that.
You can always put command points of a unit on the... and that would even help with having more specific armies, like everything's being Ultramarines. You can only spend command points generated by a detachment on units on detachments with the same detachment keyword.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just watching the Twitch chat going crazy, which is really
though.
fun. Mustache Slayer 2 also has got a great Twitch handle.
Mustache Slayer.
Hi, Wolf Brother 41. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And for the Emperor, I think everyone's saying.
For Horus.
It's Horus is the Emperor, right?
Yeah, he's the
or the Fall God Emperor. Personally, my Emperor is Kegarat, laughing bastard. For me, we talked about this. What did we talk about? Like, I would love people, if you get the opportunity, go back and listen to the podcast we did on the big FAQ 2. I don't want to be like...
FAQ1.
Yeah, FAQ 1,
Yes.
sorry. I don't want to be like the guy, but this is the important. When that came out, remember I said, they were like, CP for you, CP, like Oprah. Yeah, CP for everyone. And I went,
CP, yeah.
The problem is, all of the codexes have been released or written with the idea that that there's a limited stratagem amount of pool. So my assumption is they take a 2,000 point army for match play. They work out roughly how many CP you generate, and then they give you stratagems based on, okay, the average for most armies will be 9. This is in old stratagem points. This is command points. This is before the FAQ. And then they were like, okay, intercept, 1 command point. Fight again though, 3 command points. Cool. And then everyone just got like 5 more command points free. Yeah, after the FAQ. So now, in my opinion, most of those stratagems came down a command point in cost, right? And then you had the CP farming as well, like where you just like generated command points back. But it wasn't obnoxious when you had such a large pool of command points initially. And now we've seen a fix to the problem, which was created by generating more command points, in my opinion.
And the question is, it also didn't help that a lot of events started allowing you to duplicate detachments.
Yeah.
So now you can take 2 battalions, and then that's 13 command points straight away, right? The question I want to ask is, which builds were so problematic that this was designed to fix? So the prominent example would be Blood Angels Captains, Castell and Guard.
Yes.
Well, now you're dropping the Blood Angels Captains.
So in case people aren't aware, Blood Angels Captain is a Space Marine Captain with a Thunder Hammer and a Storm Shield that could move basically 24 inches, charge 3d6 inches, fight twice, and basically sometimes have 8 attacks. Hit on 2s with a Thunder Hammer with +1 to wound. That was the issue. They could sometimes nuke an Imperial Knight in a turn.
Yes, they could, and you could fight twice or 3 times if you die. So, not even 3, you can't do 3 times ever, but anyway. Basically, you're now dropping those because of certain other changes, potentially.
Yeah.
Because the number of command points it cost to sustain them already was quite high, and now it's even higher. And although you can't just keep doing the Knight forever, you can do it for 3 turns. No problem. So what you do overnight is you spend 2 command points to use one stratagem, 2 command points to use another. Now, those have gone up in cost. So you've got it costs you 6 command points to do it now. So 3 points for Order of Companions and 3 points for Oathbreaker Guidance Systems, whereas it was 2 and 2. But you're saving command points on the Blood Angels. So that list had 18 command points. Let's say you don't use any command points on the Catachans or the third detachment that you replace the Blood Angels with. Now you are using your Castellan at full power for 3 turns.
Yeah.
And against most things, you're going to kill it. Enough. 3 turns is enough.
Yeah, having it at 3 turns, full power for 3 turns. And again...
Or even you could just do it 2 turns and save 6 CP.
Yeah, alright. Nikos, your thoughts?
I thought I said my thoughts.
Yes, you did. Sorry. Twitch chat, they've said their thoughts. Imperial Praetor specifically says, screw your Emperor, your Chaos, and your Sissy Elder Pansies for the war. For the Orc War Boss. Yeah, that's what he believes in. Yeah, and okay. I don't know. I think every time they do the FAQ, I think these problems are not game-breaking problems. I don't think the Smash Captains were game-breaking problems.
No, I don't.
I know you didn't want to say what we thought they should have done, but I just think if they just changed Chorus Aquila and the Stratagem thing to a 6+, for me that would have changed. That'd be fine.
The suggestion that really upsets me is when people say, "Oh, well, you could just increase the points cost of infantry squads and company commanders." It's like, okay, I could do that, or I could take Adeptus Mechanicus now and take a battalion of them. It's about 12 points more. I still get a mini farm. It's not a problem.
Yeah. No, but answering
you just move the goalposts.
Yeah, you are moving the goalposts.
I do like this though. I am a fan.
What you like? Yeah, I like that there's a change.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gone the full way.
But I don't think it's. Still think you're starting off with too many command points. You're starting off with a massive fucking pool of command points. You're like swimming. You're like, this isn't like.
But you're draining the pool.
This is the equivalent, right? This is the equivalent of like you and your mates go out for a beer, yeah, right? So there's two versions of this. There was before the FAQ, the original one, where you would go out in your local village. If you're listening somewhere else in the world, like, and you're in Australia, your local Dunga farm, and if you're out in America, you're in the outback and you're going to the one bar in town. So if you're in that one bar in town city...
I thought every house was a bar in Australia.
Yeah, right. But you go out to that one bar in that little town, yeah, there's only so many ladies that are going to be there. Or men, whoever's listening, whatever you like.
Or both.
Yeah, or both. Yeah, just feel free to be on that sliding scale. Yeah, sexuality is just a feeling more than anything. Right? But then finally... But now 40k is like you're not even going to a nightclub or a bar.
You are going to a nightclub, but with a K.
Club. You're going to a super club. You're going to Spain, yeah, like with another, on an 18 to 24's holiday, and you just throw a rock. Don't throw a rock to hit on people. That's the wrong way to do it. But
it's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor. Yes. You're throwing a rock and hitting someone. You're like, I'm in a sea of CP. I can do what I like. Yeah, that's my initial thought.
Do you know the rhyme about releasing the cat to kill the rat?
Yes.
Would this be an inappropriate time to point out that this is also an indirect Eldar buff?
Yes, it would.
They'll deal with the problem. We got it, lads. We'll take it from
Ruben
here.
says, I agree with Tom. CP general detachment should only spell detachment the same faction keyword. Yeah, I think so.
I think that'd be fine, but I just think it's just adding more bookkeeping to the game.
I don't think it's that much more, though. I think this is manageable.
Yeah. But when you when certain... So my guard detachment's got 5 and I'm regenerating 1 for them. My Blood Angel's got 3 and they're generating them as well. And yeah.
What are those old maths tools where you'd have the sliders?
Abacus.
You could put some 40k branding on that and sell it.
Yeah.
The
products team.
Yeah, you can flog some more maths tools.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
No, it doesn't. So the guys in the chat talking about that, what they would do about it. Rubeard's got some thoughts. Loki says, Warhammer Fest finals last year, my army had 25 CP, spent 14 before the game, and always ran out by turn 3 because he was running Bloodletter bombs.
Yeah,
right?
But how many Flying Hive Tyrants did they have?
And then Roombar starting with 20 CP in battle round 1. Castellan Knight can pretty much remove half by the second battle round. With the old CP, they would probably have 16 left. But you do understand that so the command points were intended. Well, no, that's not true. I don't know what the actual intent was, so I'll remove that statement. But the command points are bonuses for units. So if you've got a 500 point unit and you're making it have a 3-up invulnerable save, as an example, you are increasing the what you've paid for those points, right? And I know that comes down to, but some of them aren't created equal, right?
No.
Being able to spend 1 CP to make a particular knight have a better invulnerable save is better than doing the shitty knight.
Yes.
Yeah? And you would hope that the points are different there. But the having so many command points means that you're not really you're just like, I'm going Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts. Anyway. JP Studio starts with 8 CP, has no strats. That's right.
That's right, all day. Boy.
Yeah.
He's playing hardcore mode.
Yeah, he's playing 40k in hard mode. And then his book will come out next year and it'll be busted.
Right, so let's look at what they actually changed.
All right.
For stratagems. So they changed upon Wings of Fire, which changed the command point cost to stratagem to 2 CP, which is allowed a Blood Angels unit to move again.
3d6 charge, right?
Wings of Fire is the charge.
Wings of Fire is pick it up and place it anywhere on the board outside 9 inches of an enemy unit.
Okay.
And it was previously 1 CP, it's now 2.
Imperial Knights, change command points to this stratagem. So this is Oathbreaker guidance system. So this would be pick a unit, 48 inches is how far those missiles are. And as long as you
unit
outside don't need line of sight, ignores an invulnerable save.
Can shoot characters.
Damage. Yeah, character.
Ignores invulnerable saves.
It's gone up to 3 CP.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's obnoxious. I would just have it. I would have it. I would just have it so that it doesn't ignore line of sight.
Well, you have this. So if you only have 2 of these missiles,
you're
using that twice at 6 CP, and then you get to use the Order of Companions for 4 turns.
But it requires. I remember me and Nick, who's in the chat right now. Me and Nick played with it, and he just went, "Don't need line of sight. It's 48 inches." Obviously, I moved 12 first, so actually,
and Raven, so no one cares.
Yeah, well, actually, it's not that. It's 50 inches. I don't need line of sight. You don't get a vulnerable save. Fuck off. Yeah, which is like. I mean, it requires, and Nick will say, I'm sure in the chat, it requires no skill to do.
It's still rather random because you could roll like a 2 or a 3 or something. But if you roll a 1,
a command point reroll the damage, right?
Yes, but also you automatically roll once.
I would like to see the command point reroll not be allowed to use on damage rolls. I would love that. It makes it way too reliable. Yeah, I really dislike it. Every time you get something through, you think, oh, it's a 1. I'll reroll it because it might be a 6. I would love to see it go from the damage roll. I think that that's ballsy. Like I've got 2 last cannons throw. I roll 2 1s, fine. Roll 2 6s, fine. Yeah, I'll roll a 1. Reroll it. That's a 6.
Yeah. The Order of Companions I think makes it more reliable if you reroll 1s automatically, but I don't know. Speaking of Order of Companions.
Nick's in the chat. Yep, it was our discussion in the game. There's no participation from your opponent in using the Oathbreaker stratagem. I want it to be 42 command points. That's my thoughts. You two, you like it? Don't
next
like
FAQ before.
I wouldn't remove the CP reroll from damage, personally.
Oh, that's just a.
About the Oathbreaker.
This is fine. Yeah, I like it.
Is that because you're working out in your brain? You're like, no, please don't do that to me.
I think the Oathbreaker strategy.
Well, I do flat damage anyway. So I'm alright.
I think it's 3 CP is fine in context of the Night Book, but when you can have just a guard battalion in there that just give you free, well, not free, but really cheap CP.
You can just hoard it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like cheap, like Venezuelan currency.
Yeah.
Just everywhere.
Okay, Imperial Knights, Order of Companions, change it to 3 CP.
Yep, that's a Raven stratagem, which allows you to reroll 1s on everything.
Imperial.
It's really good.
It's really good. Now it's 3 command points. Is it really good or just?
Yeah, it's still really
good.
Okay, good. Imperial Knights. So that hasn't really affected that. Imperial Knights. You got to spend 3 command points to do our Darkest Hour.
That's to get back up 1 for Tyrannus.
No. But it's 3 command points, Nicky. Will you still spend it?
I will still spend it every time.
I was prepared to spend 3 command points at the ETC to do it because I was assuming I'd have to command point reroll it.
Yeah. So that
Or I could just explode all over your face.
Yeah.
2d6 inches, d6 more wounds to every unit that I touch.
Okay.
Oof.
Right, so all the Knight stratagems are great.
Yeah.
But you can just get CPs from the guard still. So you can still buff that. So that's what I'm saying. The farm is... What people had a problem with was recycling.
Yeah.
No one had a problem with farming. No, sorry. I have a problem with farming.
you personally have a problem.
Everyone's like, they fixed the recycling, but I'm like, the farm's still there.
Yeah.
Fucking bountiful babes. Just farming like...
You've insulted the earth afterwards, but...
Yeah. Bucks and wenches.
And we've got one more.
Dude, our day. I know, it's really exciting. People love it when there's an FAQ. They're like, alright.
When there's stuff going on, it's almost like people turn up.
It's great. It's great you guys are here. Thank you. And if you listen to the podcast back, please always join us on a Thursday. If you're listening now and you don't normally listen, please join us on Thursday. We'd love chatting to you guys.
Join us.
Codex Drukari, change the Agent of Vect to 4 command points.
And you have to have something on the board to use.
Yes, and you need to have a detachment, basically, which should have been obvious from the fucking get-go.
Well, no, you just need to have something on the board.
Yeah.
What?
So you have to have a Vect model on the board.
Can I still take a support detachment that's Kabbalah the Blackheart?
Yeah.
And still use Agents of Vect?
I could take an under-strength one, yeah.
But something has to be on the board. So if you kill everything that's Vect, it can't use it anymore.
Alright.
Doesn't matter in RTC where you can hide them in a box and then just leave them there. And take a quarter as well.
Okay. Alright, fine. Still good. Still good. Still worth playing.
Now, Rob.
In a related Dark Eldar matter, does anyone happen to know if they fixed the stupid thing where you can make an additional person a warlord and then get D3 command points?
No.
Yay.
Shit. Okay, so that's everything from the big FAQ.
Are you ready?
Well, there's Warp Surge. You missed Warp Surge.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
in-
So they changed Warp Surge.
I was
sorry,
responsible.
Kev,
So
please-
everyone's
please
sending
do.
me DMs.
Warp Surge has changed, so you at the start of any phase you select a demon unit in your army, and until the end of that phase you cannot reroll saving throws in this unit, but its invulnerable save is improved by 1.
maximum of 4.
The following stratagem appeared to be 2 effect. Oh no, that's
No, it's the above one. So
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm not reading right.
they botched this a little bit, in my opinion. But the way
Controversial.
So I am saying nothing. So I'm gonna like the way I phrased it when I was talking with ETC guys is that the problem was the way ephemeral form works. It adds +1 to your save on invulnerable saves, and Warp Surge improves your save to a maximum of 3+. So you can improve your save to a 3+, and then if its ephemeral form isn't counted in that. So I could roll a 2 for my saving roll, then I get a +1, it now passes. So I've got an effective 2+ invulnerable save, right? So I was like, okay, you can change the wording on ephemeral form and say it just gives you a +1 to your invulnerable save. Nah, they just screw over Warp Surge, so everything else gets hit.
So in reality, what was the problem before?
You could get a 2+ invulnerable save on a Lord of Change.
Perfect. So that was the problem.
Yes.
This is their
Open
solution,
chorus.
and their solution was
We fucked it up.
no. What was their solution? What did
The
they
solution was to increase the cap, but Warp Surge can affect you too, so it can only improve your invulnerable save to a maximum of 4+.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So
then
Tzeentch was ruining it for everybody, but
Yeah.
they screwed over all 4 gods.
Rather
I mean,
than
that's very
At
Tzeentchian.
once. At
That's
once.
like really Tzeentchian.
rather than fixing it properly by changing the wording on ephemeral form, they changed the wording on Warp Surge, which affected everyone.
Perfect. And then, do we think that they achieved what they aimed to fix?
I mean, yes, but a lot of things died in the crossfire.
Yeah, like when I took my actual bloodthirsters to when I took my bloodthirsters to one of the heats, like you can give one of them a 4 ward save, and then I was boosting it to a 3 with Warp Surge, and he still only got 1 round of combat every game.
Yeah.
Now he's going to see less.
Like Loki saying in the chat, were we seeing many exalted? This is since the last FAQ. Were we seeing many exalted greater demons? Were we seeing many demons apart from Nurgle sit on an objective and don't die? Were we seeing any Nurgle? Were we seeing demons really?
Here's the thing:
Not really.
I could bring back a certain 1500 point individual model, with toughness 8 and a 2+ invulnerable save.
Wait, hold on. So that was the problem they tried to fix.
Yes.
Yeah. This is their solution. Did they fix the problem?
Yes.
So you can't have a 2-up invulnerable save now.
Correct.
So that's fine.
They fixed it, but it wasn't efficient.
Right. So they just hurt everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like Tzeentch wrote this one then.
Yeah.
This is machinacious. Yeah.
Just spiteful.
So Tzeentch is still okay, but like Khorne, Nurgle, and Slanesh have just got to deal with more of their shit.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Okay. Good.
It's narrative.
Huh?
It was narrative based, but they made it more immersive.
Yeah.
It's true. JB Soon is saying you saw one of them, didn't you? Rob, the Exotic Greater Demon. You didn't like it. Yeah.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah. I'm also checking out Flukesy's paint schedule, which is 12 I 2 normal cannons to build and paint or Lord of Change by tomorrow.
We know you want
tomorrow.
Dude, we
Good
know
luck,
you
buddy.
want to go into this next FAQ, man. Are you ready?
Which one do you want to do, Tom?
It's the next one.
Is it the rulebook?
The rulebook. And
Go on,
what's
then.
the right at the top of the
Just,
rulebook.
I'll let you read it out.
All right.
I'll let you read it out. I'm going to react. This is
Yeah, I want you to
This
react.
is a react
Right,
video.
right.
Maybe get your recording done now.
So, page 117. Moving. Get your clips out, boys. Second paragraph. If the datasheet for a model says it can, keyword, fly, then during the movement phase, it can move across models and terrain as if they were not there.
So what was the
Continue.
problem? Let's deal with it in order.
Right, let's just be quiet.
What was the problem that we had?
The problem we had with people putting units with fly on top of ruins when deep striking. They are out of 9 inches, and then charging them 0, 1, 2 inches into enemy units.
Yes, and that problem was created because of
A certain rule, a beta rule, in the previous big FAQ.
it was. So they made an FAQ ruling, and then it meant that you could both be 9 inches away and simultaneously next to
So
you.
it meant that units with the fly keyword ignored vertical distance when charging into and out of ruins.
Perfect. That was the problem that they tried to overcome. a problem that they created, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And what is the outcome of this particular rule change?
It means that your flying units have to charge screens and cannot move over anything in the assault phase.
This is comfortably the dumbest thing they've ever done. And I mean that, like, this is like Hitler going into Russia during winter.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, this is like baby cages in America. Like, this is just like, this is so dumb. This is comfortably every ex-girlfriend I had before I was 24. Yeah?
Ooh.
Like, mistakes. Yeah? Huge, obvious mistakes. Yeah? Which as an adult man now, I look back on and go, I'm an idiot. Not that they were bad, just our how we synced together was a mistake.
It's not even like this was hard to fix. You just take the previous beta ruling out.
And like, if they're talking about immersion, this is like one of the worst
Yes,
rulings for
and here we go.
immersion.
If you were listening earlier, Exhibit A, comes back to the fucking fold. I'd like to present to the court of the world, everyone listening right now, Exhibit fucking A, immersion. I have some brimstone horrors, because they are the shittest things I can think of. Tiny flames. Yeah, I'm now the demon Primarch who's lived for 10,000 years of the Death Guard, with wings larger than most tanks. I can't charge over the teeny tiny flames to hit a tank or any other model.
I am a jet biker. I am flying up to the screen, getting off my jet bike and running it to you with my lance.
You are a Helldrake. You fly, and then when you charge, you drag your body across the floor.
Like Rod Race.
Yeah,
there you go.
it's so dumb that we should spend hours on this. I know anyone listening goes, yeah, that's pretty dumb. And some people will go, wow, you know, it adds a tactical element to the game. It removes a tactical element because I now don't have a tool to deal with your gun line. I can't jump over anything. I can't get to your gun
more
line.
screens.
It makes the guardsman CP battery farm setup even more worth its points.
It means I take guardians
because guardsmen are now infinitely tall in the charge phase. What I find most ridiculous, like narratively, is like imagining like there's a Eldar plane flying along, and then there's the jump smash captain, and then there's like some rangers on the floor. And the guy's like, "Oh no, I can't go and fight the plane because these guys are on the floor."
But what I really enjoy is if in this analogy, so you've got the plane, you've got the plane, and then you've got the unit in front of it, and you have the smash captain, and he can't charge him. But if the unit wasn't in front of it, he could charge it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, can he?
They're grabbing his feet.
Yeah, he could.
He's flying over him and just pulling
They
him
weren't
down like
stood
that.
between.
It's so... In the old days, jump packs could only be used in movement or charge if you had to pick. So, my most damning piece of evidence, if we're talking about game rules, so immersion is not why they changed this. The reason that they changed this, in their opinion, I would say, is because of specifically one Space Marine fucking captain. So every other, I can't imagine the amount of dev that must have gone into this game for them to be like, right, fly keyword, cool, it does this in the game. It's exactly like that other game system we've got, Age of Sigmar, where the fly keyword still does exactly the same thing. Let me tell you, it's existed. 40k players, if you're out there listening, people watching, you too, yeah? One teeny tiny captain boy, yeah, has ruined this rule for you, which for 4 years of Age of Sigmar players, we've been fine. Someone's like, I can fly over that.
Here to break your game.
Yeah,
man.
like Age of Sigmar players like, I can fly over that, and then I've gone, it's fine, I've just put models there so you can't get me. Yeah, and then people have gone, fucking, that's smart.
Well played.
I hadn't thought that. I was actually going to email Games Workshop and ask them so that you just couldn't charge over stuff. That seems easier.
This is the thing, it doesn't actually affect the Shining Spears too much because you move 44 inches and you just stand in between the units. Before the assault.
Doesn't affect them. It affects my Harlequins all fucking day.
Well, we need to get into the specific Harlequin one because the Harlequins and the Wraiths with their Wraith form, it specifically states in their own individual Codex FAQs, but they can only use them in the movement phase.
So they effectively had pseudo fly.
They had pseudo fly,
and now they also FAQ'd that, so they also couldn't do the same, which has made Harlequin combat, which was shit anyway, non-existent.
What I think is quite funny is that they clearly thought that this was a great rule, and they've made sure that they've gone through every other codex of the fine-tooth comb to make sure that their rules were consistent.
No, they haven't.
No, of course they haven't.
They forgot warp spiders.
They forgot warp spiders?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just... Right, and listen, I want to be really constructive, but I do want to just have a fucking whinge about this because I've got an army. I'm sat there. I've got bikes that move 16 inches that fly. And you're telling me now I move 16 inches and I can't just jump over 10 guardsmen. I just can't. It's moronic. Yeah? But guys, Grey Knights Inceptors didn't get FAQ. Grey Knights OP.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why Reese was on the show saying, Grey Knights are going to be
But they waited until the end of September to make sure they got it absolutely spot on, didn't they, guys?
Yeah. Warp Time Magnus can't move over units because it's the psychic phase, not the movement phase.
But he moves as if it's a movement phase.
Because of Warp Time?
Yeah. He moves as if it's a movement phase.
Okay.
So therefore he follows. But the problem is placing his base somewhere, because it's massive, outside of 1 inch of everybody.
Someone's at Xtab just said, when does my year of playing my Harlequins expire? And I'm like, 11 months of fortress pain to go. Right? If we talk about specifically my Harlequin army for a moment, just so I can, as a player, it's already not great as an army. It's like a mid-tier army. Like, if you mix it with other armies...
Well, if you play in ITC, it's better because you can stretch people apart and then pick.
Okay, but if you play it with Craftworld, or if you play it with Drukhari, then it becomes a better army.
Yes, it does.
But if you just main it, the ability to... Their entire army, if you don't know, has flip outs because they're the most ninja characters in the game. And they ignore terrain, and they ignore scenery and models when they move. Mm-hmm. And obviously, previously, if you charged, they did the same thing.
So you could jump over a massive building, but you can't charge past the guards.
You can't go over a Nurgling.
Yeah, 1,000 feet high, can't charge over it, can't jump over a Nurgling when I charge. It's just dumb. And if we're talking about taking immersion out of the game, it's so unimmersive. It's so poor. And how do we adapt to it? We'll talk about that in a minute. And I know I'm really beating the bush now, but it's just fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And the problem was they created their own problem. They created their own problem. It was used to fix a shit rule that they made and then broke loads of units. Tom, think of a list of units you think that are much worse off. Yeah, or possibly even unplayable because of the...
I'm just trying to work this out because something's just come across my mind literally as you were talking. So, they've still got the old beta rule that units with the fly keyword ignore vertical distance when charging off ruins.
Mm-hmm.
But then this comes in, but this doesn't necessarily stop that. Because this doesn't... This means that you're not moving it into movement phase. You're moving into the assault phase, and as it's the assault phase, you ignore vertical distance. Does this even stop that?
I don't know. I just think it's dumb. It's dumb. People are saying, Custodies bikers, cool. Harlequin bikers, cool. Bikers that can fly. Demon princes with wings can't jump over stuff. Bloodthirsters were already shit. And this is the thing. I'll give you a good example. So, if you take a Demon Prince, do you know how many points it is to upgrade a Demon Prince with wings? Is it 20?
So it's 150 to about 180.
Are you getting
so it's about 30.
Yeah,
which one is it? FAQ? Is it big FAQ 1?
16th of the 4th, yeah.
The FAQ 1.
There it is.
So is it what is it? So it's 20 points, right?
Yeah.
But then why would I, I get a movement, I get to move a little bit.
Yeah, you get 4 inches extra movement.
But surely they're pointed based on the ability to also charge, right? It's just, no.
Okay, so where is it?
Nice. I don't know what this is.
I don't even think it fixes the problem.
Well, anyway.
Right, it is important. So
Flyrant's rings are 47 inches. 47 points, sorry. Anyway, so I've had my rant and I've enjoyed it. And it was fine.
We're doing some research.
But hold on, here's my follow-up, gentlemen. So they've used it to fix a problem. Have they? Oh, are you seeing just if they've even fixed the problem?
We're trying to see if fix a problem because it doesn't change the fact that units with the fly keyword ignore vertical distance when charging.
Okay. And then Ghost Valley said, question narrative doesn't make sense. Okay, what just rules wise?
It might be in the old rules. It might be in the old rulebook FAQ, in which case they just removed it.
Yeah, they removed it.
So they removed it. Yeah.
So question narrative doesn't make sense. What about rules wise? Tactically, what do you think? So then this is what's came up. This week I've been talking to lots of people about this specific thing. Loads of people I really respect what their feedback is because I've wanted to hear what they've said. And it's they've said, well, it just changes up the game tactically. Yeah. But to me, it's taken away a key component of being able to tactically do something. I don't think there's anything clever in having 2 big gunboats or of any army that you ever pick, surrounding it with stuff and then going, they're invulnerable now until you kill the things in front of me. Like, they're not invulnerable to shooting.
Or you've got to run up to the screen, wait, survive,
run up to the screen,
and then jump over and then charge.
Yeah, so that's what I've got to do. And that's allowing for, I'll give you a really good example, right? So let's do this. First turn, I can't go and attack let's pick something that's really offensive to shoot, that shoots stuff. I don't fucking know. Anything. Yeah, like a knight, right? Cool. I'm going to shoot. Right, okay. I can't hurt your first turn, so you fire at me. Cool. Turn 2. All right, I'm going to drop my Terminators down 9 inches away. From your screen, not from your knights. Nice. Right, so then I charge my 9 inches and I do it. Yes, go Terminators. Then I only kill the screen, right? Okay, right? And then now I just take my Imperial Knight and I move it 12 inches away.
Yeah.
Yeah? And I can keep shooting the Terminators, but then once I've moved it 12 inches away, I then just move a unit of guard in front of that knight, and now I have to fight that unit. Right? And it's just in the way. It's so bad. In Age of Sigmar's example, we have the double turn mechanic, yeah? Where I have to deal with flying units who can have 2 goes and sometimes move like fucking 40 inches. Yeah? Do you know what I do? I just deal with it. That's how I do it.
You just think about it.
I just fucking think about it and I play. So tactically, I think it makes the game worse. It's going to make games less interactive. It's going to be less intuitive. It's going to be poorer, and games are going to be really, really, really shit because they're just going to be gun lines that you just fire at each other and then you just fuck off.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts. Please disagree with me, members of the court.
I do feel like it makes the game even easier to play.
Huh?
But I do feel like it makes the game even easier to play.
Yeah.
It makes it a less tactical game.
And it's not hard to play anyway.
Okay, good. All right. What about the fact that you think it makes these less interactive?
Well, yeah, that's part of making it easy to play, I guess, because you've got fewer options to make, then you've got fewer ways to be wrong. I guess. So.
Ghost Valley, so you need guns to remove screens.
I feel like it caters to like the mid-tier players, maybe, or mid-lower who just don't screen properly.
Yeah.
It's just really.
Yeah.
Just let the player base fix it.
Huh?
Let the meta develop before.
Well, this is
let the meta develop before you start going and kicking down sandcastles.
Yeah, I agree. And actually, that was going to be one of my main talking points, like to surmise the show. It's like, how long has the game actually been in existence? And the 2CP thing, as an example, the stratagem, for me, is such a game-changing stratagem. Yeah, that it ultimately massively changes everything. Like when we talk again, looking at, because what's really cool about being part of 2 game systems, 40k and AOS, is you get to continuously compare the 2. Yeah, yeah. Like and the shift meta-wise in 40k is always just done around the FAQ. It's just Games Workshop go, we need to fix a problem. We create loads of unintended problems, so we'll make another FAQ, and then this FAQ is going to create a bunch more unintended problems.
I feel like they felt that they were under pressure to change more than they actually needed to. It's a big FAQ. It's got to have lots of stuff in it, right? Mm. We've had 6 months, because the FAQ was released in mid-April. We've had 4 or 5 months for the meta to develop. What's the meta kicked up? Okay, it's kicked up this Castellan list, which is dominating. Mm. Maybe that could be looked at. But
is it because of the CP farm? Is it because of fly keyword? Or possibly is it because the Castellan's too cheap?
It doesn't necessarily matter. So that just needs... So you're starting from a process of, okay, what do we need to address in the FAQ? Mm-hmm. Okay, we can need to address that. First turn armies didn't need to be addressed. You can deal with it. Deep striking didn't need to be addressed. This didn't need to be addressed. Why is it in here?
Well,
you're giving yourself extra work for no reason.
Tell you why. So from a gameplay perspective, what does it change? It changes huge amounts. But what does it also do? It also means that we have to buy a bunch of new units of armies if we want to play a competitive game. Now, some people will say, boo-hoo, you're a competitive gamer, why do you always have to play the most competitive units? But that is how effectively everyone... you don't stop Michelin from building the best F1 car, right? That isn't how it works. But what's happening is the F1 in this case is just saying, sorry dudes, you've all got to now put big fuzzy dice on the front of your cars. It's not that expensive probably.
So when you crash it makes a big squeak.
Jack Drama says it just turns into a big game of Breakout in the end of the shooting phase goes, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bum people out with that particular part.
I know.
But actually it turns out as I've actually talked it through, it just sounds...
I am quietly optimistic actually about the FAQ. This is
weird. Explain that to me.
Because last FAQ I thought it was dog shit.
Yeah.
And I've actually enjoyed the game more since the FAQ.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Because people can't deep strike you and hurt you.
Well, because playing 10 Flyrants was boring.
No, the non-spamming thing I said on that show was great. Yeah, everything that's still an issue is an issue created from the last FAQ.
So I don't think this is well written. I don't think this is necessarily well thought out, because I don't think that you need to do half the things you've done in this FAQ. You're just breaking a bunch of stuff that didn't need to be broken. So have you seen? Do you know about that meme where you've got police officers breaking into a house and just smashing everything?
No, but I have seen that meme where someone says something in the background. No, someone shoots someone in the background, then they turn around and go, "Why have you done this?" Which makes me laugh.
It's slightly different. So it's just like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him, and there's a bunch of police officers break in, smash everything. So you get the job done, but you're like a bull in a china shop the entire way through. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you did it. Well done. Like, the ends justify the means kind of thing. So, I don't know. I want to see it do well, but I just feel like most of the stuff that's been done in here the time could have been spent elsewhere. For example, the Space Force Codex specific FAQ, they added in 9 keywords they forgot to put in the book.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they're suffering from going too quickly. Like, they set themselves a target, release the new edition, meaning they get all the codexes out in a year. They didn't do that, and they're releasing codex after codex, and then I think the Space Wolf Codex stinks of them rushing it.
Yeah, I think that's a bit really.
They rushed it out. Yeah. They fucked up with the Warlord traits. They had to release.
Fucked up with the keywords.
The keywords and the stratagems. They're going too fast. So they're making too many mistakes, and they're trying to fix it with all these plasters all over the place.
And I want them to do well.
Slow down, do it well.
It would be easier for them to use their time efficiently, and spending a lot of their time addressing, like, 3 out of the 4 big rulings in this thing that weren't necessary at all and don't help.
Yeah.
You could just not do those 3 and spend your time doing something constructive.
Yeah.
Let the meta develop and then deal with it. Don't try and anticipate the meta.
Well, what's actually really fascinating, because the guys in the chat are kind of talking about Games Workshop, and they're talking about, like, reroll, and you guys are talking about speed. My hat's come off, I must be getting serious. If you're talking about, like, something like a MOBA game, so if you're talking about Dota or League of Legends, or if you're talking about Magic the Gathering, they have, like, extensive and exhaustive playtesting, but we'll ignore that, and game developers will also talk about that, because their rules writing team aren't game devs. And if you were to take a serious game development company, they're actually different. The rules team, the rules writers are meant to do this. Fucking, hey, what if we just give everyone 2 invulnerable saves, and then the rule devs go, lads, we're going to dial that back a tiny bit. Yeah, probably a bit much. Yeah, and they go, okay, cool. But we really like Magic. Everyone has 32 spells. Like, we'll maybe dial that a bit back. That's the dev's job. Yeah, there's meant to be a creative department, then a development department. The development department's job is to make sure it's a game they can sell. Because basically what they want to do, Tom, is they want to say, hey, do you want to play a cool game? And you're like, fuck yeah, what's the game? Punching yourself in the head. I won't buy that. Yeah. And the other game is Warhammer, and you can have a great time. You're like, oh, I'll buy that. That's fine. Problem is, Games Workshop don't deal with their game the way that those other big games companies do.
No.
Right? Yeah. But, and this is quite key, in order for me, like, if I was to play a MOBA game, as an example, and I wanted to play a champion on League of Legends, it's free. Yeah. If I want to play another champion, it's free. They only get money off me if I'm enjoying the game. Right? Games Workshop don't get any money off me if I'm enjoying the game. They get money off me if I'm forced to change my army or buy models. Yeah. Right? Or because I want to buy models, right? But that should be based on the model and the narrative, not X. So one of the guys in the chat saying here, and I think this is a really fair point, you can't be this heavy-handed with a set of rules changes when people have invested anything from 100 to maybe £1,000 on their army, which FYI is about what I've spent on League of Legends.
Same. I've spent about £1.
Which is way too much money for a free game, but that's the point.
I have skins for everything.
Yeah, okay, good, yeah.
What was it? I've missed it now. You also can't be this heavy-handed when you're releasing big patches every 4 to 6 months rather than every 2 weeks.
But again, if we were to take, and it's all about the game, right? If you were to take like an online game where they change everything tomorrow I can just pick up an online character and I can start playing the game. If they change everything for 40k, it takes me, if I want to do a nice job, like I felt embarrassed when I put my Harlequin army down at the last heat. Whereas, yeah, I know,
I have no shame.
But I really, and I played some like really lovely people with great armies, not the orc guy. And then, but then when I played with my Astra Militarum army, I was quite happy, and loads of people came over and said, "Your army looks really cool." And it was cool moving the guys around, and when I saw the bullgrims and the sticks, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" It was awesome. But I've only had like X amount of time with them, for investment of time and money, and they're going to lose players if they aren't effective with the enjoyment of the game. That's my thoughts. That's a long-winded thought.
No, I definitely agree with that. I think if they just took their time to make sure that each codex they released was the best it could be, that all options in the codex were good, rather than at any one time option A is
so hard to do that.
I know. I'm not saying
yeah.
I'm not saying I know how to do it. I'm just in an ideal world. So each codex released is really, really good. All the options are viable in a competitive environment.
Yeah,
and cool to play with. More people are going to play loads of different armies and enjoy the game more, go to more tournaments, play the game more.
That's ultimately what I would like. Yeah. I like playing the game. When I don't know if he's still here, Servitor. When he was in the chat, we played 40k and first turn, and it was because of a change they made in this. So the Stygies strat that I used changed. They've changed that now, so I can't do the same thing that happened with Servitor. But I played against his Harlequins, and it was just over in the first turn. And I didn't apologise, because I'm never going to apologise for beating you. But at the same time, I was like, you haven't had a good time. I haven't had a good time. Yeah, he was a great dude. We had a great game of Warhammer because he's a nice fella. But it wasn't something interactive. It wasn't challenging, and it's only because I went first.
Yeah.
Yeah? It wasn't because of poor decisions by him. It wasn't because of good... also, that's the other thing as well. I want to play.
You want it to be a close game.
I don't want to turn up and just press the red button and be like, oh God, I'm good. Yeah.
If only it was like Bolt Action when they had alternate activations.
Yeah, if only it was like that.
That'd be amazing.
If only it was like that. Groovy Greg, I'm without holding judgment on the FAQ. I like some changes, not others. However, I very much feel like it's a stepping stone to chapter approved. The game could be massively improved or not when they come up with the points adjustments in chapter approved. I really hope that they address problems and cut points of underused units when the last time you saw Terminators and Centurions on the table and not just boost the points of a small number of moles again. But if this is never mind. If this is an indication of how they're going to deal with it, what they'll do is they'll make the buffing units more expensive or cheaper to help Centurions, but then it'll end up buffing something else instead of just attacking.
It'll be something unintended, as per. It always is.
Yeah. Chris Roshin, I was honestly so excited about the FAQ patch after the heat, even though it's not really affected the Necrons. I was so disappointed as the state of the game isn't great now. I want the game to be strong with lots. I want the game to be strong. The passion comes from wanting the game to be strong. You want it to be a good interactive game, right? I imagine.
Yeah.
Tom, nope.
Sure.
Give me the red button to just blow people the fuck away.
The tournament I was at this weekend, my second round after I won my first game was against a poor 15-year-old at his first tournament.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you table him on the first turn?
Fella.
Not on my first turn. He had a Castellan. I left him with one model alive, just so I could harvest all the points.
Just so I could harvest. But then that's the problem. You shouldn't be playing 15-year-old kids who it's their first tournament.
It's not my fault he won his first game.
Well, the tournament system shouldn't exist. Yeah, that kid shouldn't think that's reflective of a tournament system. The tournament system, again, should be professionalised by the company, and I'll say this 1,000 times. It should be professionalised by the company, so people like you don't play people like him.
Mate, I gave him a Welsh dice. I won my first game. He won his first game. It was lovely.
Nikos, would you like the game to be more interactive and more of a challenge?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'd like it to be, yeah. Just like Bot Action. But always is tight to the last game. Like, Matt and Bob Jr., he plays Bot Action. It's an awesome game. Literally every game of Bot Action I've played, it's been close to the very last turn.
If you could take the Bot Action rules, I don't really know how they work, and just stick it in 40k, yeah?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, I like the idea, I get really excited by the characters and the models. Like, I'm telling an imaginative story in my head. Sometimes I come out of it so I can be tactical, but I just like going into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, is the FAQ too much of a reaction to tournament players?
I think it's the other way around.
I don't think there are tournament players.
I don't think it's a reaction to tournament players at all, with the exception of the Castel and Catachans.
What I mean is there's no difference between tournament players and me and Nikos wanting to play in our club at the weekend. Yeah, the optimization of an army, like a Castellan being good, it doesn't require we're talking about skill cap, right? Yeah. In my opinion, the FAQ, this FAQ has lowered the skill cap required.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just about list versus list and possibly still who rolls off to go first. Yeah, it's a pretty poor place for a game to be.
Or who rolls off to go second.
Yeah, all right, that, yeah. Right, that's a pretty poor place for the game to be. And that doesn't affect tournament players. Because tournament players don't give a fuck about the stage. They want to win.
I want to have a fun game as well.
That's my point. That's my point.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the patches be
I want
about
to outplay
developing interactivity?
I agree.
Yeah.
So the best players win.
What? So the best players win.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Sorry. I don't know. It's gone on.
That was good. No, that was a really good conversation.
Was that good?
That's important. Yeah.
That's good. If you guys are listening, and you think it's too moany, message us. If you don't, and you think that's good and healthy, message us. We want to know. It's good to hear. It's nice having a. Some people also you need some Carthy. Fucking rage, right? Yeah.
You need to just vent.
Yeah. Just typing it on your keyboard's not enough. You know, if you ever watched The Network, the film.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say, have you ever played League?
No. Have you ever seen The Network? So it's about a newscaster and eventually kind of breaks kind of like character and he goes, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Right, that's his kind of line. And he keeps saying it and he keeps saying it, and he's like, open your windows. Yeah, and say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it. And it's really great. I'll put the clip up on Twitter. But if anyone wants to, tweet or Facebook or just put, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Again, that's the thing. You've got no recourse. There's nothing you can do. Every tournament will be like, all right, Games Workshop. Yeah,
well, no, because I looked today at the Facebook page about the comments from the FAQ, and every single comment that the Games Workshop put back is like, well, but every response, I'm talking about Games Workshop, the response was, oh, that's a great idea. Why don't you email it to funnyk@plc, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And it was like they're trying to be funny when everyone was laughing at the FAQ. It's just like, fuck off.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit.
Yeah, like people who genuinely love this game and want to play it at a competitive level and want it to be awesome are saying, I've got a concern, and you're like, hey, here's a not really witty comment back, because that's what we do now on the internet. Take the piss out of our customers who are like genuinely concerned about the game.
Oh, and they are because like
get a good roasty in there.
Again, like
Zing.
if you've invested,
Zing.
I'm gonna just keep talking about my Townhouse Supremacy suit, which is 350 quid of absolute dog shit.
Oh no!
I don't want to buy it, Model Floggers, as a nice looking model. I want to use it in the game, and it's just a bag of crap.
Guys,
yeah.
I just thought, what? Talos and Cronus get a 2+ armor save.
Yeah, I said this already.
I didn't know it.
I already said this.
I didn't even know
I already said this, Tom. I already said this.
I didn't even
For the next
think
2
about
months, you've got to go with 2 up armor save Talos.
You could take 18 of those things.
How do you feel about that?
Not good.
Pray for Chapter Approved to fix things.
Mark Crumbleholm is going to single-handedly dominate the tournament circuit until Chapter Approved. Just buy and sell.
Anyway, alright, good. I'm glad you guys
You can choose not to play it. That's a spicy meme.
Yeah, you can
good meme.
You can choose
good
not to play
good
it.
Meme.
You can also choose not to go to tournaments and stay at home on your own.
I'm not choosing to play it, but my opponent is.
Yeah, but everyone else is, and I can't go. Alright, were there any other rules that mattered in this FAQ? I stopped, by the way, when I read
You stopped at that point.
A couple of little ones. So, Necrons can
zoom in
bypass the not bringing stuff from reserves thing with Monoliths and Night's Host.
Hey, Nikos! What are you saying, bro?
There you go.
Buff.
You've got the Space Wolves Intercept Stratagem, now only works on Space Wolves units.
They also clarified like choosing targets for shooting, so
you don't have to use your one-shot weapons.
Yeah, you don't have to use one-shot weapons, and
That
also
was
I
an
think
ATC question.
they clarified like if you're shooting a unit, you have to declare all shots and then fire them.
Mm-hmm.
They clarified all the so you can't just say I'm going to shoot at these 2 knights and whichever one, but don't put the shield on. You just fire everything at that.
I'm so sorry, we didn't go finalise the methodology of the fly keyword change, which was how is it going to affect the game?
I get to laugh at fly keyword units. That's about it.
Okay, that's your change.
Yeah.
Good. But Tom, come on, people want to hear about it.
I know, but it's difficult to say because it just makes it easier to bubble wrap.
That's our job, it's punditry, we're guessing. Yeah. Guess.
It's difficult. It's easier to bubble wrap your units that you don't want to get charged. Yes. There.
Yeah.
That'll do.
People are people are going to sell their Custodes bikes. I saw someone selling them on Twitter today. An entire army of them. He was like,
I actually
120 quid.
Well, here's the thing.
You want
What
it?
can I get for these?
No, but here's the thing. I actually think Custodes are in a better spot now. Because Custodes are one of the few flying armies that can just clear hordes for fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They don't care about your screen. Just shoot it.
They have their own anti-screen clearing.
But get rid of the screen before they even get to you.
Yeah, but so that's where defense in depth, the tactic, comes from. Just have 8 screens.
Are you also ready for another absolute banger from the FAQ? I think this is probably the last big one, but it's my favourite one.
Yeah.
By about a mile. So it is in. I think it's in one. Is it in the organised events thing? Anyway, it means that your buildings can secure objectives.
Your buildings can, but not fortifications.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you could take a Fortress of Redemption or that big missile battery that you had.
Fuck yeah.
Just put it on an objective.
And then in Recon, you just stretch it out across the board.
And not forgetting that in 40k, a unit can hold more than one objective.
Yeah, so you just park it across a bunch of objectives.
Yeah.
And then just go, no. That was me
Nightmare
doing
asks a great
fingers.
question. How are Custodians going to charge 3 Ravagers on the second level of a ruin?
You
They're
can't.
not.
You can't, because it's the...
That's my point. The point where this is the problem. And I don't know if it's the ITC's involvement, yeah? Where they're like, there needs to be 3 levels of ruin. Why does it need to be 5?
There shouldn't even be levels.
Why am I always playing on ruins? Where's the fields? Yeah? Where's like the cliff faces and the valley tops and like where's like ravines and why am I always near a fucking ruin? I get that the 40k universe is, and also what a piss poor job. I've seen Syria, yeah? Right?
Oh God!
Right? There are some ruins. No, I haven't seen. I've seen the. I would never go there because bless those poor people. Yeah. I've seen. There are some ruins, but most of it is just fucking rubble. There is not. And also, and this is really important, there are not many ruins that I would feel comfortable placing a heavy mortar battery on. I'm like, yeah, okay, so this building's half broken down.
Put a big mortar on.
At the bottom level.
Let's put an artillery fire. Let's put
all of the collapse.
Get a crane, put a little more to the left, put that artillery battery on there. Right. Give it a go.
Way too many emphasis on ruins. And why is there too much emphasis on ruins? Frontline Gaming sell their terrain pieces that are ruins. They have packs for ruins. They run their tournaments and they bring all of their scenery, which includes, guess what? Loads of fucking ruins.
And lost block terrain.
Yeah, right? It's a key part of their game development, not of the core game development. What do Games Workshop sell as ruins? They sell like one thing. Yeah?
They have a
Where are all the
set.
rules affecting Minotaurum fucking supply crates?
All the pipes.
Yeah, well,
all the pipes.
I'd like more crate rules so I can actually win on table 1 at 1.
What if I'm a grot? Because grots, I don't know if you know, grots can almost fit under a pipe. What if I'm a grot under a pipe, but you're a Custodian's biker above? Can you hit me? No one's asking the hard-hitting questions.
They can fit behind a dangerous defence line.
Huh?
They can fit behind a dangerous defence line. It's alright. I've already checked it.
Yeah, fucking ruins, Matt Jim Bob Jr. So I'm calling for an end to all ruins in 40k.
Demolish all
You're
ruins.
ruining the ruins.
Yeah, I say take ruins out of 40k. Ruins
Delete them.
are ruining 40k.
Why
literally ruining 40k.
don't you start with real buildings and then you can make them ruins?
Huh?
You can bomb the buildings.
So your nice building, and then you have to change it mid-game?
Yep.
Well, that'll be...
More terrain.
The model floggers would love that.
Yeah,
you have
exactly.
to buy 2 of each terrain that you have.
Or 3.
One before bombing and 1 after bombing.
1 full building, 1 ruined building, and 1 rubble.
Yeah.
There you go. Or craters.
Oh, crater?
There you go.
4 stages of terrain.
Yeah.
XT984 has just put, broke our only 4-star ruin down after my housemate kept putting his Vindicator Assassin up there.
I feel like that's modelling for advantage.
Yeah, are you putting the ruins on the board? No, there's none. I broke them. They're fucked. Yeah, right?
Smash.
So, down with ruins. Down with that sort of thing. So I'd like to start that as a 40k thing, if anyone's interested.
If we ever... have games. When we next have games, we just take ruins off. Only Pringles cans.
We already don't have ruins.
Yeah, exactly.
We've just got blocky buildings. Why are they got to be built? Why are they got to be ruins?
Exactly, they don't.
Ridiculous.
No ruins.
Yeah.
Screw
Also,
ruins.
I'm going to go find some pictures of ruins. I bet they look fuck all like the ruins we play on.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Aren't they usually, when they're burnt out, aren't there always usually the 4
corners?
Isn't it like a build? Oh, fucking God knows.
It's 4 corners of ruins and then 1 big lost blocker in the centre and then area terrain here, and here. So in the middles of the sections.
Mr. Kapowski, back when I started, the only ruins were the card ones in the start set. Otherwise, we just had to use trees and hills. Yeah, man, what's happened with that?
Battle in the Forest, man.
Yeah,
What happened
where's
to a
all the trees and
mountain?
hills gone?
What happened to a mountain? What's wrong with a mountain? Why have I got to? Why is it a building game? That's another question. I'm playing. Like, also, I have fucking. I don't know. Let's pick a magma. What's the thing on top of a volcano cannon?
Yeah.
I'm an imperial I'm a warlord titan.
I'm a big boy.
Yeah, I have a volcano cannon. Yeah, I point at a guardsman in a building.
Stallions also have those things.
Right, number one, I can't hit him. Maybe if I'm playing ITC. Yeah,
Can't even see him.
Are you telling me a volcano cannon can't obliterate that fucking shoddy? It's a ruin, by the way.
That's why I've got
it's
the
not
AP
a really
values.
solid.
That's why I got the AP values.
The building.
No, your gun.
Yeah.
So you can counteract the cover. Problem is if you can't see him.
No, not the cover.
Yeah.
Are you telling me
building.
Are you telling me a volcano cannon doesn't fucking scorch the earth where that building once existed?
That's what I'm saying. So if you've got AP -5, it doesn't even matter about the cover. You're dead anyway.
I'm not talking about the cover, Tom. I'm talking about. Think about it.
Oh, you're saying remove the whole building?
Yeah, remove the
there
whole.
you go.
Yeah, remove the building and half of the earth behind it.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
thought
saying
needed
your
to make a difference,
immersion is ruined by these rules?
People just left. I'm really sorry, chat, about that. If you guys just joined us back on the podcast, that's a little edit I had to do because there was some real loud noises. I apologise. One of our microphones died. Anyway, your pun broke the night. It's literally. So sorry, everyone. So sorry. It shouldn't happen normally. Right. Anyway.
There's another car crash.
Yeah. No, I'll edit it.
GW lawyers just hacked your microphone.
Ugly Bear just bought these headphones. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Shut it down.
I'm super sorry. It's just sometimes the batteries die in the packs. We are actually changing microphones in 2 weeks.
Ooh, can I fiddle with these ones?
We're going back to microphones that Tom can fiddle with, so the sound may change drastically. But I'm hoping to improve the sound quality.
And my hands.
Yes. I think I might just have to get you some sort of weird... One of them, like...
Straight jacket.
You know, the ball gag, but just put the mic in it instead.
What, so I can gurgle into the microphone? Mate, I need to practice now.
All right, okay. So, the rest of the FAQ. Sorry, Tom. Is there something else that's come up?
It was just the terrain thing.
All right,
so taking that building and whopping it onto objectives.
Anything else?
Well, I think the target allocation thing that I said was... I was pleased about that.
That was good.
But my iPad...
Mr. Kapowski wants to bring hedges back on our battlefields.
Yeah.
Hedges, yeah.
What happened to hedges?
They went to Lord of the
White picket
Rings.
fences. Where are they?
Along with the rivers and ponds. What happened to ponds?
Yeah, they never fight on a nice green field anymore, do
What do
they?
you mean?
Fun fact, Chimeras used to have the amphibious rule.
Huh?
They did, genuinely.
Chirog's the melter bomb went off right next to my head. He's like... don't like the sound quality. Here's some high quality white noise. Back to second edition. So yeah. So number one, why are we always playing in ruined cities? Also, by the way, I don't know if anyone's corpus mentis about this. That's not the right words to use. But if you know anything about like war,
You've been watching Maniac.
No, but you know if anyone knows anything about war, do you know why generals don't pick to fight? Cities.
Because of the civilian casualties.
What?
Because of the civilian casualties.
No, not because of that. Just because it's tactically difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fields though, great fun. Plus, Games Workshop.
Great fun.
Great fun.
Games
Great fun. Yeah, I love this.
Plus, Games Workshop already want us to make gun lines. Why are we fucking about with it? Just glass. Let's just play on sheet glass. No terrain.
Can we use some as movement aids?
Well, we could maybe make it a bit like Curling.
When I lose, what is the model?
You slide it along.
I'm going to borrow this. I was going for more of
about snooker.
Yeah.
This kind of thing.
Oh,
But,
okay.
I mean, if you lose a game,
The old Alex Harrison move.
the glass hammer.
Signature glass hammer move.
Also, if you lose the game and you've got all your models on it, you can take your glass hammer and you can go, and it'll shatter the entire table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where.
Oh, the apothecary change. So people were saying in the FAQ,
Yeah.
the question was, can you use the Narthekium to bring back a cherub from a Devastate unit? And you can't.
Okay. Because that allows you to re-roll a single dice roll.
+1 to... Plus, is it reroll?
No, that allows you to fire a weapon again.
Oh, right, there you go.
So people were firing a weapon, and then next
Bring
turn
it back.
bringing their cherub
And
back.
then firing a weapon,
and
yeah.
firing a weapon
Because
again.
you can do a stratagem like, e.g., flak missile. You can flak missile for 1 command point, shoot it again for the same command point with the cherub.
Yeah.
So you get 2 for the price of 1 for the cherub.
Yeah.
And then if you bring the cherub back again, you can do
Do
that
it next
again.
turn.
Yeah.
Right. So you
So stop
can't
that
revive cherubs
silliness.
anymore. Seems like it was a thing,
there you
apparently.
go.
Teleport homers can't capture objectives?
Well, this was a one. So this was teleport home. So for purposes you can teleport homers, Gate of Infinity, dead jumping, etc. Do they count if you move using that? Do you count as moving for purposes of firing heavy weapon? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
What about aggressors? Because aggressors aren't firing heavy weapons, but do they count as moving?
Yeah.
What,
How
when
can
you
they?
deep strike?
Can they? How
Yeah.
can they can deep
Yeah,
strike? Is that
it's at the end of the movement phase, so it's as if moved.
Okay, right.
Well,
Do you have a rules
that's-
reference?
No, I don't have a book reference, but like based on several other versions of that rule written, is what I assume the intent is.
So this one is for the purposes of heavy weapons, you can't have it as having moved, but aggressors aren't firing heavy weapons; they're firing assault weapons, and they can fire them twice if they didn't move.
I feel like I did read something about that in there, but I can't for life of me remember where it was.
I think
I'll
we might have
search
done.
through.
Yeah, we'll have a look. It'll be fine.
I'm sure it's in there.
Higgly Bear's coming back with some real world talk for me, so I really respect and appreciate that. So, no, man, we hated fighting in the Wadis in Afghanistan. Cities have their own problems too. So I'll take that real world soldier's experience that fighting out in the glass fields is just
The glass
as
field.
just as tough as being a door kicker in the cities. But I appreciate that.
Get that melee combat in with your fly keyword.
Yeah, yeah. But your plane's flying overhead and helicopters
rather-
can't drop anyone off.
So when you
right?
have two big buildings, you can't fly from that to that. You have to go all the way down.
Stop having buildings, Tom.
Yeah, that'll solve the
Stop
problem.
encouraging buildings. Or, we don't have the fly keyword now because of terrain, because of ruins.
You can move faster in movement phase.
Huh?
You can move faster in the movement
What was the
phase.
fly keyword?
Yeah.
But it's pointed as if you can charge in the charge phase.
It is, yeah.
So all of the fly units should get cheaper and chapter approved, right?
Surely. Including Shredding Spears.
Shrox, any Necron disembark talk, and when do we think it allows turn 1 disembark? So many arguments about
Yes,
this.
it does. It's in the FAQ.
It does, and it's
For
in the
the
FAQ.
Night Scythe and for the Monolith
Yeah,
specifically.
because it says they count as disembarking from a transport
Nice.
for all rules purposes.
Yeah, it's in the FAQ. Specifically the Necron one.
All right, so let's do a culmination of the show.
Rated out of 20.
Yes. What do we? So where do we think? Hi, Kirioth. Hello. How are you?
Curious.
That's cool. I'll take it. So where do we think the FAQ puts us? Do you like it, and how is it going to affect? I felt that was mainly constructive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was. We spent 15 It genuinely was, though. Like, we spent 15 minutes bashing that fly thing, which was totally justified.
No, it was more like 30 minutes.
It felt like 15 because it was so
There it
entertaining.
I still want to play 40k. I want to play it loads.
Yeah.
I want to play it loads. But every time someone goes, I can't move over there, and this guy's invulnerable because he's inside this building, I'm going to chuckle. I'm going to be like, I have a fucking knight bigger than that building. I kick it over, you dick.
That's why you had the reach stratagem. The Adam reach stratagem. Yeah. You got it.
I'm not too bothered about the fly thing because personally I never really used that many flying charging things. All my bloodletters just walk along the floor anyway, so
Annihilation badges.
it's not affected me.
With that, screw.
Right, okay, so
Yeah,
come on.
That's true.
So what do we think about... So this isn't an FAQ either. That's a key element, I would say. Every time they release one of these FAQs, it's actually a game patch.
Yeah.
That's a better way to describe it. There are some questions answered, but...
Yeah.
Any problems, perceived problems in 40k, previously? Do you think some of them have been fixed? Where do you think they are? And what would you rate out of 10? And then what do you think the game's going to be in the future? That's a question to everyone, and I'll read out all the comments.
I'm going to give it a 5 or a 6 out of 10. And the reason for this is, if it destroys the game, I start at a 0 out of 10, and then I roll it back up. If it doesn't completely destroy the game, I start at 10, and I bring it down. And it didn't. I don't think it completely killed the game.
Okay.
So, start with 10. There are quite a few things in here which I think were completely surplus to requirements. I think there are a couple of fixes that were done in the wrong way. Certainly the fly thing, as a less high-profile example, the warp surge thing. But I'm interested to see where the games go, and I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt for now, and seeing if I enjoy the game more. I don't think it'll be that drastic.
Okay. Nikos?
I don't think the changes have necessarily affected me personally in the armies that I play, so I don't think I can't really say how it's going to change the game as a whole until like play it more with those rules in effect, I guess. I mean, I think the first turn stratagem is a good one, but like I said earlier, I think it's just putting a patch over the first turn problem rather than addressing it.
I don't think it's that big a problem, though, that's the thing.
Well,
We'll see.
Says the person who likes to kill everyone on the first turn.
I don't. This is the thing. If I get a second turn, it's actually fine for me as well.
Well, you just kill him on the second turn.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's the second turn problem.
Yeah, it's any turn problem. It's just a Dark Reaper problem.
Okay, not the first turn problem, the first battle round problem, let's say.
Yeah, okay.
And the fly thing, yeah, it's just stupid.
John, you play
narratively and mechanically as well. I just hate the idea.
The mechanical part of it just lowers the skill cap massively.
Yeah, that makes it a less
it
tactical game, but narratively as well, it hurts my brain.
It hurts my brain because it's so easy, dude.
Yeah, Higgly Bear, I'm late to this party, but as a Bloody Angel and Custodians player, I love the new flat changes. I don't know if that's sarcasm.
Is that a face palm? Yeah, it's a face palm and a male.
Mr. Kapowski says, personally, I think it's just half of the picture when it comes to balance. I'm not getting worked up about anything until I've seen it in combination with Chapter Approved.
That's going to be a big one.
That's true, yeah.
I disagree, because Chapter Approved. Gangrel, thanks for subscribing on YouTube, potentially. That's a YouTube America.
Yeah, it's a YouTube one, yeah.
Woohoo! Twitcher says, totally unnecessary. I'd like everyone to ignore it. J Boosted here, personally, my army once again dodges everything bad in the FAQ. So my personal army, 8 out of 10. Everyone in the chat, if you could give me out of 10 what you think you would give the FAQ, please. Longshot Loxley, the changes don't really affect me, but I'm more concerned the games which I don't seem to know how to handle changes in the game. I think I'm going to be playing my OS in the future if it gets worse. Okay. Alright, so everyone in the chat, give me a number out of 10. For me,
give me your number.
I think this is a...
Have they fact it, Rob?
Well, you got to... Surely the parameters have to be, what were they trying to achieve? And did they fulfill that requirement?
I kind of feel like they should spell that out when they release the FAQ.
I agree. Say,
this is the problems that we saw, and this is what we were trying to achieve with this. Rather than just going, here's a rules change, and then run away.
Well, even when they did that, it was a complete cop-out. It was a narrative thing with the deep strike.
It's a huge cop-out.
Such
but actually, you've given me a really great point. They've defined their own yardstick for our measurement. So, based on how we feel about the game, and when all of us, like anyone listening, I'm a narrative gamer. I very bit doubt a narrative gamer's listening to the end here, but if they have, I'm a competitive gamer. Whatever you might be as a gamer, Games Workshop have defined in their own FAQ what they were setting out to achieve, and it was they wanted better immersion in the game.
Bollocks.
Right? That's what they wanted. And to me, every one of these initially, well, there's two things to say. Number one, I think that they've made less immersion, not more, especially with the fly keyword change, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Following up from that, so they failed at that drastically when it comes to immersion. And I also think the deep striking thing doesn't improve my immersion either.
I don't think it does anything.
but
why is it here?
So let me read out what the chat is. So based on what they've set themselves as a goal, I'm giving them so they haven't 10 achieved improving my immersion, and they haven't kept my immersion the same. They've drastically reduced my immersion in 40k with that fly keyword change. So they're getting a 3 out of 10. And I also think if we're talking about mechanically, game-wise, I think they've improved almost nothing. And also, follow up, I want to read what everyone says in the chat, but just have a think about this while I read it out. Most of the problems that we've seen are because of problems they created themselves in the first FAQ. Do you agree with that statement, yes or no? That's my question. Nick Lamont says 2. Chris Froston says 4. Long Shot Losty says 4. Tractor says 5. Nightman says play 2 games with Rhino Rush, Assault, post FAQ, quite enjoying the 2+ save going last, 7 out of 10. Ghost Valley says 7. Unicorn John says 3. Groovy Greg says 5. Gangrels just subscribe to us on Twitch. What a page! Woo! Sprint MD says 3. Xtam says 6. Twitch says 4. Blood Angel Player says 3 out of 4. Doing a cron. Tomorrow's Dream says 8. So Tomorrow's Dreams all the way up there. Time winning 5.5. Higgly Bear, I'm giving it 3 out of 10. 3 for purely for effort. The fly chains were absurd. The CP regen was mismanaged. Somehow Yunari made it out of virtual escape. Woo! Not to mention the changes to the infiltrate stratagems. Nat.com, narratively, I'm still fine with the new fly rule. Till they stop flamers shooting down jets. In the UK, 3. Kurioth, I'm still stuck in 3rd, and flyers get on my nerves, so the change doesn't bother me personally. But it is kind of garbage, really. A solid 6 out of 10, slightly better than Nick Lamborn did some things, but not enough, then dropped it somewhat. So there we go. Gangrel 7.5. He's also subscribed. Thanks very much. Yeah. And some question. First Brain Squid gives us a 5. What do you think? Did they create a run for their own back?
Disagree.
Disagree?
Yeah. I think most of the problems were caused by book releases after the FAQ.
Okay.
So mainly Knights.
Okay, but the fly keyword change was...
Oh yeah, that was one. But it isn't like a full disagree.
Deep striking?
Which that was like the original release.
The deep striking thing I don't even think was a problem.
That was the original
So release. I can't really say, they just did this as an immediate reaction to fix a problem they caused in the first FAQ. I don't think it was a problem that they caused at all.
So it wasn't initially a problem. They changed it, and now they changed it even more.
They changed it, it still wasn't a problem, and then they changed it because they perceived it to be a problem.
I agree with that, absolutely.
So most of these changes that are related to the first FAQ aren't even problems, as far as I'm concerned. Which is why I disagree. I don't disagree because I'm saying, oh well, they caused it by the first FAQ. I'm saying it still isn't a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick?
I think it's, like Tom said, some of it's problems we cause themselves, and some of it's just from fast book releases.
Yeah, I think you were really
they're trying
to
they're trying to go too quick.
They didn't really cover that enough.
Just relax.
Yeah, that's the big issue, you think?
Yeah, I think they're trying to release too much too quickly. I'd rather than just take the foot off the gas a little bit and just make sure.
Because we all just want a really fun game to play, right?
Yeah, like I don't want to buy a book or download a codex on my iPad that's invalidated what is wrong 2 weeks later, and that I have to. Yeah, it's not much of a problem if I have to re-download it or whatever.
But imagine if we didn't have Battlescribe. Like, that's the world. I mean, like, imagine that world. What?
Sorry, if that's the chat that's just mad upset me.
Yeah, but like, imagine if there wasn't. Imagine if there wasn't Battlescribe.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is because
you could get to an idea of how an army works for.
Number one, I'd be like on pen and paper, and then I'd be looking up in FAQ.
And then you can't test it on Tabletop Simulator.
Nick's nailed it. Night, first brain squeak. Kirioth, just out of interest, in or worried about the chapter crude arriving so close to the Orc decks?
Nope.
Because we've been on this roller coaster for too long to be worried.
Orcs are going to be good until March.
Okay.
We're calling it now.
Okay. Long shot, obviously, I'm not particularly stressed because Orcs are already one of the best armies in the game. Fight my Orcs, Tom. Let's play.
I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong.
Fight me. I've got the competitive 40k army in the box. I just want to bring it out because it's scary.
Mate, at half term we'll do it.
Let's do it. Let's play.
I've not played you before, so it should be fun.
Plus, I can only bring 18 mech guns now.
Oh, how terrible for you!
I'll have to take more boys.
Oh no!
Oh no! That'll be awful.
Can you kill 120 boys?
Yes.
Can you kill 18 mech guns?
It depends how quickly I kill the boys.
Good. Yes.
Sounds like
a game
tasty.
The question is, how much of my stuff can you kill with the mech guns?
All of it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Nothing. All you have to do is just stand like a bunch
with
of
my
inches away.
2+ save.
Yeah, just stand there with a 2+ save and be like, fuck you. And Orcs are top tier in Italy. Anyway.
They
I also
have
been
been for a long
games.
time.
I also hear they don't finish games in Italy. So,
we need to round off in our traditional way on Thursday now, really quickly. So someone in the Twitch chat needs to
pick a thing.
pick a faction, and we will describe the sort of people who play that faction. Yeah, we've done Orcs so far, and
don't say Orcs
Tyranids.
again because now I have to say Italians.
No, well, it has to be a faction. It has to be a faction. Also, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope this was a healthy. I'm still excited about playing 40k. Like I am. That's just a healthy, good conversation. I don't know why they. Personally, I just prefer them not to release FAQs.
Yeah.
Because they just aren't good.
You said 5 different requests.
Someone earlier in the chat, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Twitch Brasilia, said they should outsource their rules writing.
Agreed.
I'll do it. I need money.
So the first person was Iddy UK, who picked demons, and we haven't done
demons.
We
haven't done demons.
So we're going to do demons, if that's okay. Unless, actually, Nick, you're the ill one. Yeah, you were ill. You've been a hero, and you've turned up today. Would you like to change? Would you like to?
No, I'm happy with demons.
Do you want a command point reroll?
Demons is good.
There's a dice.
Do you get you the penis dice?
No, hold on. I got some dice.
This one's got a dick on it.
You two can both roll off to see who can choose. There you go. Tom versus Nick. Tom
I don't want to win this.
A 2. They rolled a 2. It's a command point reroll.
That's a 2. Excellent.
It's a 5.
So you get
to 5. Nick, you get to choose. You want to stick with demons or move?
I want to stick with demons.
All right. Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. That's just thought. I probably should have made it more interesting. Let's do it then.
All right. So what are we starting with?
Demons.
Dress code.
Dress code. How would your average demons player dress?
Robes
Yeah.
with a hood.
But not robes, because obviously no one actually wears robes nowadays. Just really big dressing gowns.
Yeah. Big hood.
Either that or they dress really normally, just to blend in.
Would it depend on?
But like collar to neck tattoos.
Would it depend on God? Which god they worship though?
Oh yeah, we probably should pick a specific.
Because
demon
Slanesh
god.
should be just leather.
Nikos, roll off. Pick a demon god.
Okay, so
we're picking one
D4.
So 1 to 4. So Khorne, Slanesh, Nurgle, Tzeentch. I'll reroll 5 or 6.
Khorne.
Khorne.
Khorne players.
Robes.
Okay, robes. Red robes.
Red, deep red robes.
Yeah, deep red robes. They would have some sort of. They're probably the guys who would wear those helmets that you wear at Download, which is a rock festival here in the UK, with the spiky.
Oh yeah, so your mohawk can come out the top.
Yeah, but it's more spikes.
I feel like they're very hairy individuals.
Mm-hmm. Heavily pierced. This is looks, by the way. We're doing looks first. Heavily pierced.
Yeah. White beaters. As in the shirt, or that's just their demeanour?
They might wear wife beaters.
I do.
Which is in England a phrase we use for taking your top off. No, having a vest. Having a vest.
Sleeveless.
Yeah. Steel cap boots. Oh yeah, they definitely have steel cap boots. Yeah. That's a fact.
No, they've got to be hairy.
They have wallets with chains attached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Or just jeans with chains attached.
Spiky chains.
Spiky chains. But spikes to a wallet. Yeah. Whereas, in contrast, an Eldar player would keep a phone on their belt.
You're just describing everyone on Download at this point.
Well, they're very cornate players.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
They're very corny.
Yeah. People are saying leather pants. Oh, would they? I feel like they're wearing leather cut-off shorts.
Leather cut-off shorts. I feel like that's the Slanesh ones.
Yeah. Are they bikers? But we got to remember. Okay. You guys are killing me. I wonder if this encourages people.
Unlike the corn players,
they listen. They go, "Fuck no."
We support prejudice, equality. Everyone.
Yeah. We're going to do everybody gets at some point. Yeah. Leather studded bracelet. They definitely wear those leather waistcoats with the studs on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loads of chains.
The studs could be on the inside of it, so it's like constantly making them bleed slightly.
Yeah.
They're just getting angry. So
full Nelson piercings.
Full what, sorry?
Nelson piercings?
Oh yeah, the full Nelson.
What's the full Nelson piercing?
It's a piercing through your penis.
Who would do that?
Many a man.
Why?
They like it.
Madman.
I don't understand.
Yeah. I one time dated 3 individual girls.
All who had full Nelsons.
Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, they wanted to be identified as girls, though. Yeah, I've only slept with women, but some of them had dicks.
No homo.
But they had each one of them had in a row. It was like, oh, there's a piercing in your paper cut on the peach.
Great.
Your what?
Paper cut on a peach.
Paper cut on a peach.
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
But then imagine you put like a pin through it. Yeah. But yeah, you never heard of full Nelson before. Anyway, Prince Albert. No, he's right. They're called Prince Alberts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry,
Yeah.
we've got that piercing completely wrong.
When did we include the bit about talking about the dicks on this section of the show?
Just piercings.
It's just piercings.
If it's faction appropriate,
faction
we'll go there.
Yeah, we wouldn't talk about this with custodies.
No.
We're like posh boys.
Do they even have penises?
Oh, custodies.
Yeah.
That's the point. And do the players? Great question.
No.
We'll cover that on another show.
Yes.
All right. What sort of music do corn players listen to?
They listen to Korn.
Metal.
Only that we said that about the orc players as well.
Metal.
Do they listen to epic soundtracks from really cheesy 4 out of 10 movies?
Oh, nice. Yes. Yeah, they would. They would.
Do you know who Drachenlord is?
No.
He's a German YouTuber who's like, never mind, don't worry about it. I feel like they look like him. Just Google Drachenlord later.
Okay, all right.
Fine.
Flablucker says Slayer, Beethoven. This has got to be the worst time to join the streets. Flaming Farmer. Yeah, they could listen to grunge. They could, but they're quite like they're rage filled, aren't they?
Conan's soundtrack.
Yeah, they're rage filled. So they'll be listening to angsty. They're probably like Eminem, Linkin Park.
My Chemical Romance.
No, My Chemical Romance aren't angsty. They're sad.
Yeah. So they need to get their anger out in some way by playing Korn.
No, they don't. They just be more sad.
It'd be more sad.
Yeah, you can't make emos angry. You just make them more sad.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't know that many.
I do.
There you go.
Yeah, the Conan soundtrack.
I feel like they'd listen to 2 Steps from Hell, and
Yeah, Slayer. They listen to that.
Yeah.
They probably like a lot of post-hardcore. A lot of metalcore. They're super into Partway Drive.
Baby metal.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Nightcore.
They wouldn't like emo rap, would they?
They wouldn't. They wouldn't be a fan.
Flablucker. Amarath. They might. Yeah, they could do. They probably listen to Lizard to Gent as well. Look, I'm really getting my musical chops out now.
You're much better at this than I am.
Everyone's like, all right, nice, yeah, okay, good, yeah.
It's almost like
Sugar.
It's almost like you're a DJ, Rob.
And also, if you like Meshuggah, really, it's just 4/4, and you know it. There's someone out there who's laughing his balls off right now. He's so right.
One person.
That's a drummer joke I know about Meshuggah.
Yeah, I know. It
means nothing to me.
Do you not drum?
No, I don't know.
It's so easy.
Okay, right. Let's follow up. So, what films do they like?
They haven't got time.
Zombie films.
Porn.
That's what I think they like. Zombie
Saw
films.
films. The Saw
It's too tense, don't they? Just
Yeah,
want
there's blood and guts
they just
everywhere.
want to see constant murder.
Yeah, but there's like blood and guts everywhere.
What's just a war film that's just constant fighting? Did it?
Huh?
Did they like?
Oh, they like films where the body count's super high. So, like, there was a bit where, have you seen, like, Hot Shots Part 2?
Oh, yeah, with all the
There's killing everyone. So there's that, and they obviously love Arnie films, where
Yeah.
he's killing all the people. Just
Mando.
high body count films.
Yeah.
All day long.
It's not really a high body count, but were they like Gladiator?
Huh?
Were they like Gladiator?
So, yes. No, there's not enough. Is there enough?
Too emotional.
It's a blood sport. Yeah. Yeah,
51st Days.
but still,
yeah, they definitely like the 300 film.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
I think that was too slow naturally
Yes.
for.
Yeah.
That was too.
And John Wick, Rambo.
There you go.
Now we're into it. This one, high body count,
Yeah.
So,
full action.
like, you're saying Gladiator is too emotional, but when you're like
Yeah.
a 12-year-old kid when it's just been released,
yeah.
so it was released in like 1999.
What was?
Gladiator.
Yeah.
So when you'd have like kids just watching it because they
Saw
thought
it
it was
cinema.
cool.
It's amazing.
They didn't give a shit about the emotional
It's one of the
stuff.
only films
They just
allowed to
watched it
cry
because
at.
it had a cool battle scene where they burned down a forest.
That's great. And if you see me, I'll be in Elysium. Great
Yeah,
scene.
there you go.
So we've done music, we've done
Legally
films. Although the
blind.
film, the chat is saying Kill Bill. I agree. Fight Club,
Because it's got feet in it.
Evil Dead 2, Rambo, and 7. Yes. Right in the box. Have you seen 7, Tom?
I don't know what 7 is.
Oh my god.
I don't think I have.
I'm
You
too
haven't seen
busy.
7? You guys should watch Seven. It's really good.
We should have a movie night.
We should. You'll
just stream
long
it.
at this stage.
We'll smoke something suspicious and then we'll watch a movie.
Right, okay. So we've done music, we've done film, we've done looks, hobbies. Hobby of a Cornate demon player in 40.
Hunting.
Huh?
Hunting?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely into hunting. Blood sports. What are they into?
Some sort of mixed martial art. Cage fighting.
Clash Royale.
Yeah. Yeah. They also like throwing axes.
Here you go.
That's a sport.
But corn don't throw axes. They hit them weird.
Yeah, I mean, they'll
Tra-
also throw them to chop off the head.
They'd be always ready.
That's a good shout.
They'd be training.
Historical
They'd be
LARPing.
always ready to axe.
Historical battle LARPing.
How?
What do you mean?
Historical battle LARP.
You literally just pick up a pike and go fight people for 3 days in the woods.
Yeah, but you don't actually do any real fighting, do you?
You do.
Wow.
I've got a friend that does it. She comes back with bruises.
Idio's got with a good one. Blood donations.
Yeah.
Blood for the blood card.
Let me just say. Blood for the NHS.
Bloodletting. Cutting. Never do that. And also, if you're ever feeling low, make sure you talk to a friend or someone or a professional.
Yes. We'll probably make it worse.
Yeah. What?
We're not good people to talk to.
Nikos is.
You're a good person.
Yeah, Nikos is a great person to talk to.
You just talk to me in 30 seconds and just, shit. It's all over.
Excarnation, hobby and assembling IKEA furniture, that's what makes them mad. Krav Maga, they like making their own weapons. Do they? Bedazzling skulls. Yeah.
Vajazzling.
No, that's
different.
That's bedazzling a vagina.
I know.
I know about that one.
What
I didn't know about the piercing. Well, I know about the diamond vaginas.
Yeah, I know about that one. So if they're into it with the knobs, they're into it with everything, aren't they? They don't discriminate.
I don't think the vajazzlers are necessarily in the penis piercing game.
Rugby? How dare you criticise rugby league? What's wrong with you, mate?
Good luck, Fluxy. Interior decorating. I've been trying to talk to Rob all week. He won't help you. That's true. I literally just... Anyway. Right, so I think we've done it.
Nailed it.
There you go. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. If that sounds like we've described you to a T, please let us know.
Send a picture.
Yeah.
Send your lawsuit to Games Workshop PLC at, I don't know, Lenton Lane. I'm not sure.
I'm going to sneeze, so I'm going to try and end the show before I... Everyone on Twitch who's been here. Nick and Tom, you guys have been amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have been.
Especially Nick for being
amazing.
Huh?
I'm a hero.
Yeah.
You are a hero for being poorly.
Absolute unit.
We've absolutely smashed that. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone on Patreon. It helps us keep the show going. Everyone who's become a new Twitch subscriber or has donated some bits today. You're here somewhere. I'm sure you are. Yeah, thank you very much. You guys have been wonderful. Just all rounds of applause. Don't let if you listen to this point, don't let the FAQ get you down. Just keep playing. Do what you do. Enjoy it with your friends. Probably ignore the fly keyword.
And send emails to 40k.
Ignore the fly keyword or ignore the FAQ, because the FAQ says to ignore the fly keyword.
So what I'm actually going to do? I'm just gonna. I know all the emails for all the people. I'm just going to get all the emails. Yeah, I'm like, any complaints? Email this email. Yeah, that's right.
FAQ at gamesworkshop.plc.
Send to all.
It's really easy. Take the name of the person, put a dot in between the first and last name, then the @gwplc.com, and that's their email.
Do we know what we're doing next week?
Emailing a bunch of people.
Do you want to do a Plague Bearer Tactica?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Because there's something that's happened with them, right?
And no, but I've got it in the bank and I've had it for 3 months and the chat keeps asking.
All right, okay. It's because you mentioned it at the end of every show.
Deal.
No, they mentioned it and then I brought it
You
up.
don't want to do any work for next week.
Well, I've already done the work.
How about, Tom? How about you can do it if you're on time?
But I'm fucked because I work until 6. I'm trying to...
All right, deal.
Only if you change it to 7:30 and then I get...
No, never ever.
Okay,
6:30
there you
now.
go.
Yeah?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm changing the goalpost the wrong way.
I'm retiring.
It's
from,
the honest wargamer
I'll just bank on winning the lottery. It's fine. So we're going to fix it.
Everyone, you guys have been great. Great show. Takes a big man to apologise to the show. It's my pleasure. They got it out on time. That's correct.
Well done.
Good job, them. I appreciate it. Anyone else? Anyone else? Do you guys want to say anything? Say goodbye to anyone?
I want to say goodbye to Smash Captains.
Flash!
Bye!
Tom, do you want to say goodbye to anyone?
Nah, because all my stuff's still good.
Alright, okay, fine. Right, DJ Batman wants some more 40k in the unique.
That was good.
Yeah, we'll try and do that at some point. Thank you to everyone. Again, massive love to everyone on Patreon and Twitch who helps keep the show alive and ticking. You guys are wonderful. We'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.